Oh, yeah. What is up, everybody? Welcome to the KillJoy Jake YouTube channel. We're chilling, grilling. True. I messed that up big time. That's okay. How's everyone doing, though? Welcome. Wrestling God is with us tonight, saying, hey, Jake, I'm going to have a big ranking for this live stream tonight. Feel free to rank along with us. We're going to be ranking some slasher villains tonight, and it's going to be very fun. I got a lot of them up here, too. I'm excited to reveal it in 2 seconds. Saying... Wrestling God is also saying, I got a lot of things to say, and whatever you are ranking, I'm going to rank the whole entire list and see what you think. Absolutely, Wrestling God. Give me your ranking after this. Put it in the chat, maybe when we get to the ending. That'll be really fun. I'm super excited for it, man. And of course, if you disagree, if you're like, Jake, what the fuck, dude? You're putting Hannibal Lecter there? Come on, man. Throw it out there. Tell me I'm a big old smelly donkey dick. I don't care. The other thing I do want to throw out there real quick before I say hello to James is that if you stay until the end of the stream today, you might get a little bit of a surprise. One person is going home with a digital copy of Evil Dead Rise. Whoever can get it first. I'm just going to read it again, and then whoever gets it, gets it. So someone's going home with Evil Dead Rise tonight. We're giving back. It's going to be fun. Also, if Haunting You shows up, in the chat, I still have not heard from them about the Scream 6 Steelbook. So if that happens and someone sees that and I miss it, please point it out. Anyways, James Leclerc is saying, I know you like horror films. Maybe, a little bit. I'm not sure if you've heard of Dead Birds from 2004. It's a very creepy and eerie movie, and I recommend it. Don't hear many people talking about it. It's quite good. Very nice, James. Hell yeah. I'll check out Dead Birds. That's a scary thing, man. Dead birds. I don't want to be anywhere near those. Terrifying. Absolutely horrifying. Speaking of a good original movie, I did a review on Patreon this month for the movie Triangle. If you guys have not seen that, phenomenal. Like, really good. Did a little review on it, talked about it. Really fun. Just, I highly recommend that one. Little weird indie horror movie from like 2009. That's fantastic. Ooh. Great cast, too. Villain Killin' Dylan is saying this is long overdue. It is, ranking all of these villains, it's going to be fun. I took out some obscure ones that maybe some other people wouldn't know, like Alice from Alice, Sweet Alice, the terror-trained Groucho Marx killer. There's a few where I'm like, these are pretty obscure. I don't know if people will know them or not. But if we get to the end of the list and we're still going, maybe I'll throw them on there. You never know. So you never know, Dylan. It's going to be a fun night regardless, though. Thank you so much for being here, my friend. I appreciate you. Thanks for being a KillJoy cult member, too. The support means a whole lot. Thank you. Brian from Slasher in Suits is with us tonight. Yo. Saying, I was just mentioning this. Art might be an A tier, but not yet. I don't know, man. I have some opinions about Art the Clown that we'll get to. I'm excited. I have a certain spot for him, I think. Twilight Sparkle Fan 2006 is saying it's horror week with The Exorcist and Saw trailers coming out. Yes, it is. Oh, it's a good week to be a horror fan. We got The Exorcist trailer yesterday. Was that yesterday? It was yesterday. The days just blend together in my head, unfortunately. And then Saw X, the trailer's probably coming out on Friday. Little birdie might have told me that. So there you go. Rumor has it. But this is a strong rumor. Like a pretty damn good rumor. Let's just say that. I'm excited, man. Joe's with us tonight. Howdy, Joe. What's up, man? I love you too. Thanks for being here, dude. Appreciate you. Dreaming Insomniacs. Very good stuff. Horror Den, a KillJoy cult member. I see you, and I appreciate you. Saying, hey, KillJoy Famalam. Fucking love it. What's up, Horror Den? Welcome. Byron's with us tonight. KillJoy Jane. That's my my female alter ego. How did you know, Byron? How did you know about that? Nick is with us, too. Howdy. What's up? How's it going, Nick? Guns and Horror. Two scary things. There you go. The shape all the way. Oh, let's see where Michael gets up there. I don't know where Michael's gonna go. I'm excited for that one, actually. We got Michael and Remake Michael, so it's gonna be fun. Sarah's with us too. What's up, Sarah? How's it going? Thanks for being a KillJoy cult member as always. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Johanna as well. Hello. What's up? My chunky Jordy. Yo. Welcome everybody. How's it going? David Santa Carla is saying, hey, Jake, going to an early stream. Very nice. An early screening of Talk to Me tomorrow. Hell yeah. Get excited. It's easily one of the best horror films of the year. I am so excited to see it again this weekend, too. Speaking of that, I'm going to see Cobweb later on in the weekend. I'm really excited for that. I've had multiple people reach out to me and say, dude, you need to see this. Like, you would love it. And I'm like, whoa, really? Okay. Flew under the radar. For some reason, they released it during Barbenheimer weekend. There's two movies that people were going to go to the theater to see this past weekend, and unfortunately that was not one of them. But I've heard very good things, and I'm going to try to get a review out on it, because I'm always just a little sad when horror movies get plowed over by other genres. It happens far too often, so I'm going to try to give Cobweb a little bit of light to shed on it. But I do want to do my Barbenheimer review at some point. Oh boy, Jake does not have time. Gonna get to it. Extron is saying, hey, Jake Joy Kill. See, okay, we're talking about female Killjoy Jake. This is also my arch nemesis, is Jake Joy Kill. Stay away from that guy. He's fucking weird. LaGreatness. I love it. Oh. Go LeBron. Listen, he might have left Cleveland, but I still love him. He got us a championship. What can I say? Saying, in that new Saw X poster, would you want acid poured down or eyes being pulled out? Sucked out. Ooh, that's nasty, dude. The new Saw X poster is fucking sick. I did a little short on it right before I went live here. I have so many more theories after looking at it a little longer. What I said in the video was like, oh, is acid gonna run down that? Kevin Grudert is directing this movie, who also did Saw 6. So my thoughts were like, oh shit. Sorry, everybody. I think I'm gonna sneeze. Oh, excuse me. There we go. That came out of nowhere. My theories were like, yeah, maybe acid comes down those tubes to the eyes, maybe bugs. Like, can you imagine a bunch of like locusts or something coming and eating that dude's eyes? Ugh. God, whatever happens, it's gonna be fucked up. Anything regarding eyes is always something that's just hard for me to watch. Oh my God, I think I'm gonna sneeze again. I don't know what's going on. Oh, I'm fighting it. I'm fighting the urge. Mr. Rick is with us tonight. Good evening. Just saw Triangle. Fantastic. Nice. Do you think the birds have something to do with the triangle? It seems they follow them the whole time. The seagulls and that Foley, it's definitely there kind of the whole time, especially with the ending, no spoilers, but holy shit, what a movie. What a movie, everybody. Killer flick. Certified Quality is with us tonight. By the way, we will get to the ranking soon. I just want to say hi to everybody. I like saying hi to my friends. Do you just have your friends come over and then you're just like, okay, let's get to what we're going to do? No, you say hi, you shake their hands, you be polite, people. 2 more minutes of this and we'll get to the ranking. Certified Quality with a killer profile picture. Love it. Cat giving the finger. Nice. Saying Michael Myers' smartest horror slasher. Okay, I feel you there. He's definitely smarter than like Jason for sure. Jason not as brilliant, but doesn't care because of his powerful strength to just walk up onto anyone instead of stealth. Okay. Jason can kind of teleport, though. That's the one thing about Jason that's interesting. We learned that in some of the sequels, which I think is fun. I'm excited. I'm excited to talk. Well, trust me, we're going to get into it. Oh, we have a big list. It's not just like the most popular horror villains, too. We got like Amanda Young from Saw. We're going to start off with Hannibal Lecter, like a bunch of people. Pamela Voorhees is on here, Pennywise, Red from Us. Like there's a lot of people we gotta go through. I'm hyped for it. Sean from Zom Leader Studios is here. What's up, man? How's it going? Just talked to you very recently about some fun stuff. How's it going, man? What's up? Hoping that Saw X poster eye tubes are like really strong vacuums that suck out the eyes. Oh shit. Okay, I fucking love that. That's maybe even the best thing I've heard so far. Sean, I gotta have you on, man, when we do the Saw X talk. We're totally doing a live stream after that movie comes out. Oh my God, I can't wait. I'm so excited. I'm so excited, man. Oh, it's gonna be good. Sarah is throwing the link out to my Patreon, by the way. And I know you hear fucking every YouTuber say support me on Patreon and all that shit. But did you know that if you support me at my top tier, Freddy tier, you can co-host my podcast with me? That's kind of sick. I'm just saying. You pick the topic too, whatever you want to talk about. As long as it's not like, jerking off an animal or something. Just let's not talk about that. Let's talk about horror movies. Preferably. That would be great. Pharaoh Anubis, what's up? How's it going? Welcome to the stream. Saying, what if Art the Clown was in Mortal Kombat 1? I'm already buying it day one because Homelander's in it, but this would make it even better. Oh my God, what would his fatalities be? What would his brutality be? Would he run back in with a bunch of salt and bleach and pour it all over his victim? That would be great. I like the way you think, Pharaoh Anubis. Let's do it. Mr. L is with us. What's up? How's it going? Let's get to some super chats as well, saying from Mr. Marcos. What's up, Mr. Marcos? How's it going? Marcos Pizza is my fucking favorite, speaking of which. Throwing 5 in there. Really appreciate the support, my friend. Thank you. Saying 1 million clones of Michael Myers, Jason, Leatherface, Ghostface, Freddy, Victor Crowley, Chucky, Predator, Xenomorph, Jacob, Goodnight versus everyone on Earth. they're fucked. They're absolute. Everyone is fucked in that situation. A billion people versus a million, like of the best fictional serial killers of all time. They're totally screwed, man. we might have the numbers, I mean, but come on, like these are some bloodthirsty killers you're talking about here. I think we're fucked in that situation, honestly. That's crazy, man. I'm so excited to get into it. We're gonna do it after these super chats. Thank you for the $5 though, my friend. I really appreciate that. That's insane. I would not want to be in that fucking situation. Holy shit. Ooh. Michael Parton's also throwing $2 in there. Thank you so much, my friend. Saying, could Eli Roth consider rebooting Hostel? I'm not necessarily against that, honestly. I really like the first two Hostel movies, but something that actually me and Sean have talked about before is, like, there's parts of Hostel that I don't love. I think I'm starting to like the second one better, honestly. So if he was to redo it now as a, more experienced director, I wouldn't be against that at all, honestly. I definitely like some of his later horror movies. I don't want to say I like them better. I just think they're a little more polished. Like, I love Cabin Fever, I love Hostel, but you look at something like The Green Inferno, for instance, and it's like, wow, okay, this is a little more polished of a film. There's a little more experience behind this one versus Hostel or Cabin Fever, even though I think those movies have a better concept. That's fucking arguable, though. That's really arguable. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, but there's definitely some more polishing that could have happened with Hostel. I wouldn't be against that, honestly. Really tough to say. I really like the two Hostel movies I've seen. Have not seen the third one yet, though. I hear it's fun. It's in Vegas. I say fun, but it's about, people getting tortured to death. Yeah, that's fun for me, though. I guess I'm just fucked up. Michael, thank you for the $2, though, my friend. I'm into it. I'm down for Thanksgiving later this year, by the way. Super hyped for that, dude. New Eli Roth horror. It's been too long. Been too long, my friends. Mr. Rick is throwing 2 in there as well, saying, is Leatherface the only villain that's not supernatural? Well, we have Ghostface on here. Hannibal Lecter's not supernatural. This is tough. Is Red from Us, I don't think is considered supernatural. Well, I don't know. It's technically like a clone. It's technically a doppelganger. I don't know. That's arguable. We don't know too much about the background of the Tethered from that movie. So that's actually, it's kind of arguable to say. But there are many killers on this list that are not supernatural. We also have the Brandon James style Scream TV series killers on here too. So a lot of interesting stuff. Well, trust me, we'll get to it. We got some fun stuff. Let's just get right into it though, Mr. Rick. Thank you for the $2. And once again, I really appreciate your profile picture. I really do. Keeping the red right hand spirit alive. I love it, man. Thank you so much again. Lisa S is throwing 5 in there, saying, do you think the last voyage of the Demeter will be good or bad? I think it's gonna be fucking awesome, Lisa. I'm super hyped, actually. The trailer looked kick-ass. I remember there's a lot of people excited for it when that when that trailer dropped. I'm sorry, I just saw another funny comment. I'm really excited for it. I'm anticipating it's going to be in my top 10 horror movies of the year. I'm not expecting number 1, but it's really interesting because it's based off of just a chapter of the original Dracula. And I think that's going to be fun. I think that's going to be really different. Dracula on a boat, just the whole movie, not the whole story. We're just condensing this one part of it into one long movie. I feel like that's how we should attempt. Well, that's how we should attempt rebooting or remaking some of these classics, that we've seen 1,000 times. Everyone knows the Dracula story. But what if we did this? What if we expand on just one aspect of it like that? I think that's great, actually. I'm all about that. So, Lisa, thank you for the 5. I really appreciate it. I'm super hyped for this movie, though. Cannot wait for next month. We have a lot of good horror stuff coming up soon as we start to roll into the fall. What else is going on here? Celestia is with us. What's up? How's it going? I'm fantastic. How are you? Welcome. We have all right, let's get into this. We've got some killers that we got to rank, and I'm just going to give my opinion on it, but listen, if you guys disagree, throw it out there. I want to hear it. I want to hear if you guys agree with this or disagree with it. I want to know, because I have some hot takes on some of these killers, so it's going to be fun. Let's start off with Amanda Young from Saw, though. Kind of not the best picture, but there she is. There, I'm kind of dragging it around. Look at that. Go. Okay. But Amanda Young from Saw, pretty solid accomplice. I think she is... It's tough to say. I'm not crazy about Amanda. I don't think she's she's not my favorite accomplice. I'm going to be honest. I think Mark Hoffman kind of wins that for me personally. So I'm going to put Amanda, considering the other folks on this list, I'm going to put Amanda at C tier personally. I'm kind of there with her. I don't like I said, I don't hate hate Amanda. I think she's a really interesting character for being a victim at first and then kind of like falling under Jigsaw's spell. I think that's a really interesting character dynamic with her. But I don't know. I wish I'm excited to see more of Amanda in Saw X. But I like I said, I think as far as Jigsaw disciples go, my favorite is absolutely Mark Hoffman. That's where I'm at with that one. Leslie Vernon, Flash. Oh yeah, we're gonna get to Leslie. I'm excited to talk about that. And Antonis is saying that Chucky's your number one. Ooh, okay, all right. I'm excited. We'll talk about that. I'm hyped. Jacob saying said that. People said their clip at the end of Insidious: The Red Door. Is that true? There's a little scene. It's nothing crazy. It's just like the door, the light above the door flickers on and off. It's kind of teasing that there's going to be more, which, as we know, Insidious 6 is in the works. So Doofy was solid. Doofy is on the list. We're gonna get to Doofy real soon here. I'm excited. Ooh, very good stuff. I'm putting Amanda at C tier, arguably a B tier, but C tier for now. I'm gonna be harsh. This is gonna be a harsh list. Then we have Angela from Sleepaway Camp. Now, I don't know if you guys have seen Sleepaway Camp or not, but it's got a crazy twist ending, revolving around the killer, who is, well, Angela. I'm all about this. I'm all about this this killer. I think this movie's great too. That definitely aids it big time. Angela from Sleepaway Camp. I'm not gonna put her there. I think I'm gonna put her in B tier. I think Angela's a B tier killer. Really tough to say. Flash is saying Angela deserves it all. I feel it, man. Angela deserves some love. Angela's a killer. Angela is packing. You are correct. Angela's a great killer though, and I think a lot of the reasons I like this movie so much is because it's so weird and campy, but I don't know, there's something about the humor of Sleepaway Camp that really hits for me where not every campy horror film really does. Like there's something specifically about this one that it's so weird, it's so off kilter and just strangely off in a very unique way that I love about Sleepaway Camp. I feel like there's like maybe like a subsection of horror films that all kind of feel a certain campiness to them. Like they all have this similar style to it that I'm just not crazy about. Like I've just seen it so many times, but then every now and again you get something like Sleepaway Camp that is so campy in its own unique original way that's just really fun and enjoyable. It's a very unique film, so I'm giving her a big edge there for that. Catbread is hanging out with us tonight. What's up, Catbread? How's it going? Be careful with those lasers, my dude. Careful with those. Might shoot right through your head. Holy shit. HCF Paranormal is speaking some facts. Art the Clown is the newest slasher to rule. One ring to rule them all. That is Art the Clown. I couldn't agree more, my friend. Let's just get to it. Art the Clown, S tier, like without a doubt. Maybe takes this whole list. Sorry. Sorry, Ghostface. Sorry, Michael. Love me some Art the Clown. Tell you what. The scariest horror villain of this generation so far. I don't see anybody topping him. I think Art the Clown is one of the best horror icons of all time. He's so unique in the sense that like he doesn't talk, but he's always showing so much emotion. Like he's cracking up, having a blast, killing people. It's so fucking funny. It's so unique. Once again, another thing that is very campy, but has a unique style of camp. It's not just I'm trying to think like what I'm talking about here. Like Sharknado. Sharknado's humor is very okay, this is exactly what you expect from a so bad it's good horror flick. But Terrifier and Sleepaway Camp, like they have this campiness to it, but it's utilized in a way that's so unique and special that I love it. You can't just rely on, oh, well, this is just so bad it's good. You got to do more than that. And Terrifier and Sleepaway Camp both do that in such a very interesting way. Ooh, I love it, man. Nowalk 420 is with us tonight. What's up? Saying, yo, little off topic, but have you seen the Epics show From? Best show I've seen in a while. I'm hearing great things about it. I believe it was a season 3 that recently got announced for the show. I skipped it at first because it looked like an Us clone, and I was like, what's up with, like, why are they doing Us but a TV show and Jordan Peele has no involvement? I thought that was kind of weird. I remember I had a tweet kind of blow up maybe like, I don't know, like 2 years ago when that show got announced at first. And it was like, it was something to the degree of like the producers of this show when Jordan Peele watches the first episode and it's the Jordan Peele sweating meme. So I skipped it, but I hear it's actually really good. It's very unique. It's its own thing, not just the same thing as Us, which is nice. I got to check it out. I really got to check it out. It's tough for me with streaming right now. I kind of just don't want to pay for any streaming service at the moment with everything going on. But I will check this out at some point, though. I really want to get into it. I've heard nothing but good things. So got to make that happen soon. David is saying the glove, the hat, the sweater, the quips. It's Freddy all day long. Oh, Freddy ranks very high on my list. We will get to that, though. I'm very excited. Art the Clown is a menace, absolutely. Art for president, that would be a fucking disaster. Chris is saying Art always knows how to make me laugh and feel terrified at the same time. Fuck yes, my friends. I agree. Give it a watch. It's a banger. I got it, dude. I got to do it, man. Very good stuff. Oh, are you ranking some of his kills from Terrifier 2? Bedroom scene, coroner, and you know? I don't know, man. The bedroom scene's number one for me. I'm going to be honest. That's my favorite Art the Clown kill. Oh, shit. Celestia is excited to watch Talk to Me. Killer movie. See it this weekend. It's so good. One of the best horror flicks of the year, without a doubt. It's easily my number 2. So check it out. It's going to be really fun. Oh, it's going to be good. So let's get into some more of these killers, though. We got Babyface. Babyface. Look at that. Look at that little guy. From Happy Death Day. 2 people have been behind this mask, as we know from those movies. I'm not crazy about the second one because they just used the red herring from the first movie for the killer in the second film, which admittedly feels a little lazy. I wish we could have had a new set of people to go after his killers. I thought that was kind of a poor decision in Happy Death Day 2, personally. But I love the twist in Happy Death Day 1. That could have been a killer Scream twist, and we've just never seen that, unfortunately. But I really like the design, really fitting for the movie. You know, it's really goofy looking, but still scary, you know? I'm going to give... Lisa's saying A tier. I don't know if I can put Babyface above Angela, though. I really like Babyface. Great design, but I think I'm going to put him at B tier behind Angela, personally. That's kind of where I'm at. Good killer, though, nonetheless. Like, no hate. Above average, you know? That's where I'm looking at with B. Like, C is average. B's a little above average. Oh, Sarah's cracking me up already. Throwing 5 in there. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much, Sarah. Saying, oh no, I left for 5 minutes and came back to Art in S tier. Jesus, take the wheel. Is Art going to win it all? Ooh, maybe. I don't know. We're going to go through all of these, but man, it's going to be tough for me to put something above Art the Clown. That's like one of my favorite slasher villains just ever. Oh, love it. Very disgusting, fucked up killer. Nonetheless, though, Sarah. We'll see where Ghostface ranks, though, because Ghostface is a little tougher because, you know, it's a bunch of different people. You have to consider all of that. I guess with Art the Clown, though, you could also consider past iterations of him, too, because David Howard Thornton's not the only one to put on all that crazy-ass makeup. So, you know, that's maybe something else to consider, but I really like, I mean, the Terrifier version of Art the Clown is so good. The All Hallows Eve one, though, is also very brutal. If you guys have never seen that movie, you're looking for more Art the Clown in your life, I recommend it. It's an anthology horror flick, which is interesting, but Art the Clown is kind of like the Crypt Keeper in a lot of ways. He's kind of like the guy that is involved in all of these segments somehow. It's a really interesting movie. I really enjoyed it. But yeah, Sarah, it's gonna get fucked up tonight. This is gonna be a fucked up one, I'll tell you what. Thanks for being here, though. Thanks for the support. I really appreciate that, Sarah. Thank you. Oh, look at that. The freaky Tarantino film student. Nice, man. You got to get a little freaky with Tarantino. Come on. My man likes too much feet. Let's be real. Saying, instead of having friends, I have horror movies. I have said that so many times in my lifetime. I had to change the intro. That's how many times I've said it. But I love it, man. Thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out with us. Appreciate you being here. Lollipop Sanchez is hanging out too. Love that name, Lollipop Sanchez. I wonder what you'll get if a face hugger face hugs Freddy, Jason, or Art. You know, we got the question answered finally to say that, like what would happen if a predator got a face hugger on them? We got to see that in Alien versus Predator Requiem. Well, you know, barely because the movie's too dark to see, but we need answers to some of these questions too. We got some weird, like, paranormal killers on this list that I would wonder what the fuck would happen. Like, imagine Jack Frost getting a face hugger. What the fuck would that look like? Oh my God. Little snowy alien demon thing. I don't fucking know, man. We'll talk about it. We're gonna get into it. I love it though. Lollipop Sanchez, welcome. Alan's hanging out with us tonight as well. Foot lover is spotted. Well, we all know that about Tarantino. I can tell you that much. Just watch any of his movies. You'll see some feats. I promise you that. All right, now we have Billy Chapman from Silent Night, Deadly Night. Punish! If you guys have ever seen the movie, pretty funny stuff. Pretty good reference there. I really like this killer. I think he's very underrated. Do I put him in B tier, though? You guys are going to see a lot of killers in B tier tonight. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to put him right. I'm going to put him right here. Hang on. I'm going to put him there. I think that's like middle of the road B tier. He scores some really good kills in that movie. Very interesting killer as well. I don't know. I've always really liked that first Silent Night, Deadly Night. That movie's so much fun. ZZM is saying average. Okay, fair. Not like, the most standout, but as far as Santa killers go, he might be my favorite. Like, I really like Violent Night with David Harbour is great. I'm trying to think about the one with the wrestler. I can't remember the name of that movie, but there's another one with a wrestler and he's like Santa Claus. It's ridiculous. It's so much fun, but I like slightly above average. I think he's one of the better Santa slashers out there for sure. I don't know. Yeah, B tier. Fuck it. That's where I'm at with him. He's also got a nice little iconic catchphrase. He just runs around. He says punish all the time. That's a fun thing in my mind. I like that. There's not too many characters on this list that I feel like are actually iconic. Like sometimes it's like, oh, okay, yeah, that's fucking iconic. That's awesome. But that's something that's like instantly recognizable about this character. I don't know. I really like that. I actually laugh at Requiem. It's funny. AVP Requiem's underrated, man. I don't hate it. It's ridiculous, and it's basically just a slasher film with xenomorphs and the Yatyas, the Predators, whatever the fuck. But it's a fun time. I don't know. I enjoy it. It's really brutal too, when you can actually see what the fuck is going on. But I don't know, man. I don't hate it. It's not the worst movie I've ever seen. Very fun movies. As Sarah knows, there is no slander for Alien vs. Predator around these parts. Very nice. All right, let's move into Billy from Black Christmas. I'm going to be straight up with y'all. If it wasn't for Billy, there would be no Ghostface. There would be no Michael Myers. There would be none of these like iconic killers. So, some of the other iconic killers on this list. Billy is an easy A tier, in my opinion. Our introduction to this lad is him screaming a bunch of obscenities over the phone, which, here's going to be another hot take. Scarier than any Scream phone call, in my opinion, is that opening to Black Christmas where he's just on the phone saying all this awful shit to this fucking, this whole group of sorority girls. It's horrifying. If you guys have never seen Black Christmas and you guys love Scream, you need to see that movie. Oh my God. If you like Scream, you will love Black Christmas. Absolutely a precursor for that film, in my opinion. So good. Billy, we don't get to see a whole lot of Billy in the movie, but he makes such an impression. I think he's definitely an A-tier killer for sure. So that's the only thing to his detriment, I think. We don't see too much of him because we're either through his perspective or he's up in the attic giving crazy phone calls. It's good stuff. Billy has to be A or B. I agree, ZZM, for sure. A tier, very nice. Chunky Jordy's also saying A. Okay. I think we can agree on this one. I like this. This is nice. Billy is top tier. Fuck yeah. Okay, very good stuff. AVP is fun, didn't need to be masterpieces. ZZM, I feel you. Not everything needs to be a masterpiece. We can have some fun with some dumb alien fighting movies sometimes. Are there pyramids in Antarctica filled with aliens? I don't know, but I'm excited to see storylines based around that crazy ass bullshit. I'll tell you that much. Oh, it's fun. Billy A tier though. Can you guys tell I have ADHD with how all over the place I fucking all over the place my mind is? Oh my God. Holy shit. The side tangents are going a little nuts today. I apologize, but I can't help it. So much fun stuff to talk about. Getting back to it though, Brandon James, or well, the two killers from from seasons 1 and season 2 of Scream TV. Now, I don't know how I feel about this one. This one's gonna be one of the lower. I think this is gonna be our first like real low ranking one. What's tough about this mask, about this killer to me, is the mask I'm not crazy about, especially because it's based on the ghost face mask, but then he kind of it just looks a little generic to me. Like the ghost face mask itself is so iconic. Like, you looking at this one, it's iconic. It's instantly recognizable. And then they reduce that to something that's just a little more like just basic. Like it's not bad. It's scary. I actually really like how it looks. It's just a little, I don't know, just comparatively to the ghost face mask, it's not as eye-catching or I don't know. It's not as unique. It's just a little more generic than typical Ghostface. I actually really like the reveals in the Scream TV series, though. I don't know, but I won't spoil it. You know, I don't like to talk about television openly on this page because it's a much more of a commitment than a movie. But the reveals in the first 2 seasons, they're pretty good. They're pretty solid. The kills are also really good. Actually, better than some of the movies, in my opinion. But the characters, I just can't latch onto them as much as I do the movie characters. That's my one thing with the show that really bogs it down. I think if there's just a better character, they're not even bad. Like, I don't want to even say the characters are bad. Just once again, victim of comparison here. The Scream TV series just suffers because it's in the Scream lineage. I think if it was just its own thing, it'd be a pretty fucking solid show. But it's just because it's Scream, I'm like, this is okay. I don't know. I'm going to put Brandon James in okay, D tier. I'm going to be nice. D tier. Slightly below average, but like not bad, you know? Scream TV show is a C. Okay, fair. Fair enough. It's solid. It's not horrible. Mr. L is saying I like the first 2 seasons of the show, never saw the third one. You can skip the third one. Keke Palmer, fucking amazing in the show. Easily the best part of it, but besides that, Killer is like translated so badly in that show. I don't know. She's the person is so obvious. You didn't hear me say that. No spoilers. Eric Covington's hanging out with us. What's up? What's up, man? How's it going? Welcome. How's it hanging, my friend? Welcome to the show. Chris is saying D tier. I kind of feel you, man. Think I got to go D tier with this one. Not as excited about this one. I was actually really surprised at how much I liked the first 2 seasons. I definitely liked them more than I thought I would. You know, any TV show based on a pre-existing property, I'm kind of hesitant towards. I think the majority of them are not fantastic. There's a few standouts, of course. There are, always outliers to big claims like that. But I'm never, I don't know, I just don't get as excited about shows like that. They're typically not as good as the actual movies, more times often than not. What do you think about Jensen Ackles playing Freddy? He's funny, witty, and scary. He played a really good, somewhat antagonist. Well, yeah, side antagonist in the latest season of The Boys. I could see it. Happening, actually. He's got to be, Freddy's got to be a little funny, a little scary and silly, To really understand the concept of Freddy, you got to be able to be both of those things, I think. Because, my man's, just like Art the Clown, having a fucking blast killing teenagers. You can't have a Freddy who's just like, I'm just scary, that's it. You got to have a little bit of silliness to it. Or I don't know if it works. It's a very specific formula. You got to get it right, or it may not work. All right, moving into Candyman. I don't even have to think about this one, gonna be real with y'all. Candyman's going all the way up to the top. Fucking love Candyman. I don't know. Tony Todd, horrifying. Like, I truly think he's one of the most underrated slashers of all time. I see so many posts with, like Freddy, Michael, Jason, Chucky, and there's like, these are the big slashers of all time. But like, Candyman should absolutely be up there. I'm going to be completely honest. I think it's almost kind of a shame that we don't have Candyman up there, like in the same regard as something like a Jason, a Freddy. Great. That first movie's so good. The requel's fine. I don't hate it. It's definitely better than 2 and 3 in my opinion. But man, they had a severe lack of Tony Todd in there, and it just wasn't as good. But loved that first movie so much. And I'm just talking from one movie. That's how good of an impression this man makes to to receive the S spot. He makes the 2 and 3 watchable, but some things about those movies I'm not crazy about. But Tony Todd, amazing. My man had bees all over his fucking face. Real bees. stinging him, going crazy. Oh, man. I don't know. That deserves an S tier in my opinion. I couldn't do that shit. Fuck bees, dude. Fuck that shit. No way. I'm done. Ugh. Don't like bees. Not a fan. Saying yes to that. Yes, 100%. Fuck yeah. Candyman is top notch. I agree. Ooh, hang on. Extron, we're going to get to that, but real quick, Mr. L, Anthony Starr would play an amazing Albert Wesker. With this new Resident Evil film that just got announced, I hope someone realizes that. I'm glad I'm not the only one thinking that. He would play that character so well. There's a lot of traits I see in Homelander that could be echoed through Wesker and kind of a new take on the character. Couldn't agree more. I think that would be great. Mr. Rick is saying that's the only good thing about Scream Season 3, Candyman versus Ghostface. I mean, yeah, kind of. I'm doing a ranking. Yeah, live ranking. Why not? Why the fuck not? You know? Who knows? Maybe it'll be fun. You're saying you saw the first Candyman. It's a pretty good movie. Tony Todd is awesome. This is one that I got to be honest, Extron. The first time I saw it, I was like, okay, that was pretty cool. But watching it more and more, it's a scary fucking movie. Some of the situations they put you through in that one is tough to watch. Fucking hell. Not the bees. Oh, I wish Nick Cage was on this list. God, it's a shame. We got to get Nick Cage as a slasher villain. He can't have bees all over him because then he's just white Candyman. But I think he should play a slasher villain in something. That would be a lot of fun. Malik is saying the real question is who is the king of framing someone, Candyman or Chucky? Oh, shit. They're both very good at that, aren't they? That's really tough. Chucky does it more, but I think it's scarier when Candyman does it. Does that make sense? Like, I don't know. There's something about that scene where she wakes up in the apartment and some of you know. For those of you who know, you know. Damn, when she wakes up and the dog's head and all that shit, dude, fucking hell, man. That is so fucking scary. I love that shit. Love it. Love it. Very good stuff. But Chucky, I think, is better at it, but that one scene just sticks out much more to me than any of the Chucky framings. But they're also very good. Also very good. I'm excited to talk about Chucky in a second here. All right, getting into some Rob Zombie. We're going to be talking about him a couple times on this list. Captain Spaulding from House of a Thousand Corpses, my personal favorite Rob Zombie movie. Mainly because of Sid Haig as Captain Spaulding. I fucking love this character so much. One of my favorite killer clowns out there for sure. Rest in peace to Sid, of course. Man, I got to put him pretty high on here. I got to be honest. It's very much so Rob Zombie, which is an acquired taste. Some people are not crazy about his style, but I think like the best version of Rob Zombie's his style in movies is the Firefly trilogy, like without a doubt. The first two movies specifically, 3 from Hell, it's okay, but 1 and 2, that's the story in my opinion. So Captain Spaulding, I think I'm going to put him at a high A tier. Am I going to put him above Billy? Yeah, I'm going to put him above. Yeah, I think that's where he's going. I'm going to be real. Sid is a legend, absolutely iconic, without a doubt. A tier, okay. I feel you. I think a very high A tier for for Captain Spaulding. I think for sure. Underworld versus Frankenstein. Oh shit, we could talk about that all day. I love the Underworld movies. Have I seen Freddy versus Jason, Mia? Absolutely, great movie. Oh, I absolutely love it. Grew up with that one. That was a lot of fun watching that at a young age. Really fun movie. That bed kill scared the hell out of me when I was a kid. Great film. Triple Glax. Sounds like I'm saying something naughty there. Saying House of a Thousand Corpses and Devil's Rejects, 3 from Hell was not for me. Yeah, 3 from Hell is kind of an unnecessary continuation. Devil's Rejects is just such a good ending to that story. Like, it's tragic and it... actually, Sean, who was here earlier, describes the films as like House of a Thousand Corpses is the acid trip, Devil's Rejects is the hangover. And I don't think that could be a better... There is not a better description of those two movies, in my opinion. I couldn't agree more. This is probably a hot take, but I actually do prefer House of a Thousand Corpses over Devil's Rejects, but they're both great. Like, they're both like 1 and 2 with Rob Zombie movies, in my opinion, for my personal ranking. So good, so much fun. I love those movies so much. I gotta watch those again, man. Walmart is putting out a collection of all 3 of those movies on a steelbook. Thinking about buying that. I really want to. I don't own those movies. I gotta rewatch them. All right, moving into another grindhousey style killer here, Chop Top. One of my favorite killers maybe of all time. Like Chop Top, I think is the most underrated character on this whole list. Once again, only really one movie, was going to come back in All American Massacre, but that didn't fucking happen, unfortunately. Ugh. Bill Moseley is so good. This is without a doubt his best role, in my opinion. And actually, he's also part of the Firefly family. There you go. But yeah, listen, Leatherface, great killer. Don't get me wrong, but I might like Chop Top more than I like Leatherface, which is maybe a hot take. I'm putting him in S tier. which is only because he's so underrated. Like, no one talks about TCM2. Like, I know a lot of people that really strongly dislike that movie, and I think that's crazy. I don't know. That's easily like, well, is it my favorite sequel? Yeah, it's my favorite TCM sequel, I think, for sure. I love TCM2 so much. Mr. L. Dr. Satan! Ah! God, I gotta watch that movie again. It's so good. Oh, House of a Thousand Corpses might be your least favorite film. Oh, I'm sorry, Obi. Damn, that's sad. That makes me a little sad. I'm gonna be honest. I'm sorry you don't like it. My Chunky Jordy is saying, I'm trying to try watching Evil Dead when you're 8. I was far too young. Jordy, have I told you my story about watching that film for the first time? I'm gonna tell it. I don't care. When my dad gave me the birds and the bees talk, told me all about the, genitals. Had to talk about genitals, what those things are for. Man, he showed me the Evil Dead right after that, and it traumatized me. He's like, hey, now you understand the tree scene. Now you get why this was a thing, and it's like, oh wow, that's a horrifying introduction to that part of my life. Wow, God fucking damn, Jesus Christ. Yeah. So that's the summed up version. I told that story to Bruce Campbell at Horror Hound this past March, and he thought I was crazy. So that was fun. Yeah, I paid all that money to see him, and then I tell him that crazy fucking story, and he just looks at me like I'm nuts. Anyways, Mr. Marcos is throwing $5 in there. Thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate the support. Saying these killers fused together into one being. Plus, they read the Necronomicon. They got a Jason X upgrade. How many Avengers could survive all Endgame heroes? So you're kind of saying, like, what if, like, could the Avengers fight against these villains even after, like, having the Necronomicon possess them? They have all these powers. They got, like, a Jason X upgrade. Honestly, I feel like, it would be a tough fight. It wouldn't be like an easy one or the other, but I feel like our villains win this. They're a little more used to killing, where I feel like when the Avengers kill people, it's a little more accidental, or they, their goal is not to kill the enemy. It's to, just stop them, essentially. Our killers are going to come out the gate fucking, who gives a shit? I'm going to stab Iron Man in the throat. I don't care, So I feel like the killers have an advantage here, especially with all of that. I would say I'd say our killers win versus the Avengers. There's only so many Avengers, and there's like fucking, like, what, 20, 30 killers here versus all of the Avengers? Come on. I think they win that all day, Mr. Marcos. But I dig it. I love this hypothetical. This is a fun one. Thank you so much for the 5, Mr. Marcos. I really appreciate it, my friend. Thank you. Obi meant that's your least favorite Rob Zombie film. I almost thought you meant like House of a Thousand Corpses was your like least favorite film of all time. And I'm like, damn, that's pretty rough. Definitely not my least favorite film of all time. Okay. Very fair. More fair. I appreciate it. Mr. Rick is saying, I love it in Devil's Rejects that the killer was running for their lives like the victims. Yes. You never see that in horror movies. I agree. I think, that's why I really like both of those. Well, that's more Devil's Rejects. I really love that though, about the film. I think that might've been a big inspiration for me with, Red Right Hand, was to see that kind of flipping the whole thing on its head once again in Devil's Rejects. It's a great film. It's amazing. I fucking love it. House of a Thousand Corpses, I think I only like it's better just because I like it just has this grimy grindhouse atmosphere that both films have, but there's something like trippy and crazy and I don't know, like drug induced fever dream feeling of House of a Thousand Corpses that feels so specific to that movie. I love that shit. I can't get enough of that. Very good stuff. Sarah Campbell is gift a KillJoy Jake membership. Thank you so much, Sarah. I appreciate that. To Curious Jojo. Wow. Jojo's going to get a lot more curious when he sees some of the videos I've uploaded for Patreon people only. Oh. Go ahead and get curious. Tell you what. Oh man, we got some fun videos on there though. I got another one coming for Jason tier patrons sometime over the weekend, by the way. So a lot of fun stuff on the way. A lot of fun stuff coming. I'm excited. All right, we got Buddy, the Chucky from the remake. Some of y'all are not going to like this, but this is an F tier for me. Gonna be real. I am not crazy about Buddy. Not a fan. They took the concept of Chucky, which is so unique and fun and special. A killer doll who's possessed by a real life serial killer because of fucking voodoo. They take that and they reduced it down to just the average idea for what a killer doll could be. A malfunctioning robot it's very modern, which I appreciate, and I think that's cool. But I don't know. I just the the former is way more interesting in my opinion. Using voodoo to possess a doll, like that's crazy. Holy shit. I don't know. Not a fan of Buddy. I think if this was a standalone movie, I would enjoy this. I would have enjoyed that movie more, but once again, victim of comparison here. I think if this wasn't a Chucky movie, I would have been like, oh, okay, I enjoy this. Chosen Vader owner is saying, you put the Scream TV series mask in D tier? Yeah, like, here's the thing. That's not bad, just slightly below average is how I feel about the Scream killers. Well, Scream TV series killers specifically. I only feel that way because I think the design is just not as cool as like the Ghostface mask, as I was saying earlier. It's not bad. It's just like, it's just not as unique as the Ghostface mask is. It's like, why would they change it? Like, why? Was it a rights issue? Probably. But I don't know, man. I'm just not crazy about the Brandon James look. It's not bad. Like, once again, it's another victim of comparison thing. Like Buddy and Brandon James Ghostface, these would both rank way higher for me if these were like original IPs, but just comparatively to the thing that they're based off of, it's just not better. It's a downgrade in my opinion. So that definitely adds to the negativity there. Obi is saying Megan was infinitely better. I couldn't agree more. Essentially the same concept, but like the tone is its own unique thing. You know, Megan has a better personality than Buddy does, I think. So yeah, I couldn't agree more. Megan is definitely just a better version of that film because it's its own thing. You know, it's crazy, but sometimes if you have a killer doll idea, maybe it just shouldn't be Chucky. That's just my take on it. But anyways, let's get to the real Charles Lee Ray here. Chucky, my man, one of the most iconic killers of all time, the most iconic killer doll of all time, without a doubt. Anyone who says Chucky knows exactly what the fuck you're talking about. Like, out of all the killers on this list, him and Freddy might be the two most iconic. So Chucky, I think, is going to S tier, personally. Like, without a doubt. Look at that. Both ends of the spectrum for the Chucky killers. That's pretty interesting. Do I put Chucky above Chop Top? Oh, I think I do. I think I put... Sorry, Chop Top. You're going to the bottom of S tier. Yeah, Chucky... That's... Yeah. Does he go above... Oh, does he go above Candyman, though? There's so much more Chucky, too. There's, like... Here's the other thing about Chucky. Like, I love almost all the Chucky movies. I'm not crazy about the show, and I'm not really crazy about Seed of Chucky. So that's kind of the one deterrent here. But there's definitely more good Chucky movies than there are Candyman movies. So I think I might... Ooh, this is going to hurt, but I think I got to put Chucky above Candyman, too. Yeah. Yeah, okay. I'm putting it there. I'm not putting it above Art the Clown. I'm sorry. That's a hot take, Chosen, but it's close. I mean, it's very close. This is 1 and 2 right now, in my opinion. But Art the Clown, just so good. But so is Chucky. Like, I'm not saying Chucky's not good. Oh my God, both of these are great. Is the Collector on the list? Okay, so Horror Den, here's my question. There's this guy right here, and I can't tell if that's the Collector or not. That's the only reason he's in there. If that is the Collector, maybe we can just pretend. If it's not, I don't care. I would be down to talk about the Collector, though, because that would be fun. Maybe when we get to the end of the list, though, for sure. So, yes to that. Doing pretty good for Halloween. It wasn't a bad idea in and of itself, but it didn't belong in the trilogy. Are you talking about Halloween Ends? Oh, okay. Yeah, gotcha. I feel you on that. Halloween Ends, yeah, not really part of the trilogy in my opinion. But yeah, good stuff. But yeah, Chucky, easily an S tier villain, just because of, influence alone. Everyone knows who Chucky is. But on top of that, Brad Dourif, his voice performance with this character, I just think is so excellent. And even like the TV show, which once again, I'm not really a fan of, he still gives it his all. And I just appreciate that so much. I think that's just incredible. There's no bad Brad Dourif performance as Chucky. Like even in the goofier ones, I'm still fucking loving everything he's doing. He's always given it his all. It's never half-assed. Chucky's an easy S tier for sure. All right, now we got Esther, another underrated villain from the Orphan movies. Now, we got the Orphan prequel last year, and I loved it personally. I thought it was a lot of fun. Not as good as the original, but they still managed to get a twist in there that I thought was really fun and super inventive. I don't know if you guys have seen it yet. I won't spoil it. Another movie that kind of went under the radar. But check that prequel out as well. If you've never seen the original Orphan, it's fantastic. It's got a great twist. And then the second movie comes along, and the biggest criticism I have of that film, it's a prequel, was how are they going to do a prequel to Orphan if there's no twist? Like, that was like the big thing about that movie. You know, the kills are whatever. They're not bad, but like the twist about Esther is fucking awesome. That's great. That's what was so good about it. The sequel, though, which is a prequel, managed to work in an excellent twist in there as well. And I was like, damn, okay, they went off on this one. I appreciate that. So because of that, Esther has had 2 outings so far, potentially a third coming soon. I think I got to give this one maybe a high B tier. Yeah, maybe. I think I'm going to put Esther above Angela, like top in the B tier, maybe bottom of the A tier. That's kind of how I feel. Obi is saying B with time could become a classic villain. Absolutely. For sure. I do agree. I think she's already kind of there. Lisa's saying A or B. I feel you on that. I'm kind of like, you know what? Yeah. Okay. You guys talked me into it. Esther's going to the bottom of A. Really great killer. Isabel Fuhrman too portrays her excellently. And you know what? Here's the other reason I'm putting her in A tier. It was so much harder for Isabel Fuhrman to play her in the prequel because she's no longer a child. So, little tougher to do this one. A lot of weird, like, filming techniques they had to use to make that work as well. So yeah, Esther, okay, A tier. You guys talked me into it. Y'all are right. I feel that big time. Jacob Myers is saying I would put Michael Myers original, Jason Voorhees original on the top. Oh, well, we're getting to it. Oh, Jacob, we're getting to it. I'll have a whole thing about that. Also, what if Corey Cunningham was added to the list? He would be an F tier, like bottom of the list. Sorry. After all, he's a copycat killer like Roy Burns. Yeah, Roy Burns is not gonna fare too well either. He's on the list. Roy is on the list. So we'll get to Roy. We'll talk about that shit. Oh man. Talking about Esther, Mr. L is saying pretty underrated villain. My wife was even impressed when I introduced her to the Orphan movies. Nice. I'm just curious, Mr. L, is your wife not a big horror fan? I know I have a lot of people in my life that I show them these horrifying films and they're like, dude, why do you like this? And I'm like, I just do. I love gross, fucked up shit, man. I can't help it. It's all good stuff. All right, we got 3 Freddys to get through here. We got New Nightmare Freddy to start off, which is a bit of a weird one, but here we are. New Nightmare Freddy, a little different from, Robert Englund's typical performance. It's not like super different. It's just a little more like trying to take itself more seriously. So it's not as like quippy, not as jokey in New Nightmare. I'm going to give New Nightmare Freddy like maybe a B or an A. I don't hate this portrayal, but I just like, honestly, the one thing about New Nightmare that I think is just not a strong negative, just a little tiny thing that kind of bugs me a little bit is that Freddy's not as interesting in the movie. It's much more character driven, which is a huge improvement from some of those sequels, which, my God, I fall asleep because some of the characters are so, ugh. But I will say Robert Englund's performance is just not as interesting as some of his past portrayals of the character. And, it's by the time we get to this point, this is the 7th entry in the fucking Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. You got to change it up. I get it. I get the motivation here. So I'm going B tier. I respect it. Great movie, too. Easily one of the best sequels. Maybe the best sequel, actually, in the whole franchise. But man, yeah, normal Freddy is so good. I love him so much. That's what she said is here. Hello. What's up? Welcome to the ranking. But we got a crazy fucking thing going on now. Tell me what you think of what we got so far. It's gonna be fun. Mr. Ellis saying she's familiar with horror, but I definitely wouldn't call my wife a horror fan. It is entertaining seeing her reactions to the films I show her. Nice. Oh man, you dragged her to that. I see, to Terrifier 2. Oh man. That must have been fun. Just every 2 seconds. What a movie. What a fucking film. Oh man. All right. But the Freddy Krueger we all know and love, Robert Englund. I mean, listen, another character who is just one of the most iconic horror villains of all time. He's hilarious. He's having a fucking blast killing these kids, which is a fucked up thing to say. But my God, Freddy Krueger, I mean, an easy S tier without a doubt. I think I put him above Chucky. Only because like Chucky kind of did it. Well, Freddy did it first. You know what I mean? Freddy did the whole quippy, silly character thing first, I think. So that's why I don't think there would be a Chucky if there was no Freddy Krueger. So gotta put him above Chucky, which is tough to say, but man, Freddy Krueger, so good. I'm going to be completely real with you. The only reason he's not a number one above Art the Clown is because, my God, some of those movies are unwatchable. Like, the only thing that makes some of those Nightmare on Elm Street sequels worth watching, especially 2, 4, and 5, in my opinion, is Robert Englund as Freddy. He saves those movies big time. That's another huge positive for him. He would be number one if those movies were just written better. They're rough. They're rough movies, but he makes them so good. His performance is amazing. They would be unwatchable without him. So without a doubt, Freddy Krueger's number 2 in my mind. I wish those movies were better because then he would 100% be number 1. But Art the Clown is 2 for 2 at the moment with me. I love the first Terrifier. Love the second one even more. So good. I can't wait for Terrifier 3. So can't wait. 2024 cannot come soon enough, my friends. Now we get to remake Freddy. Ooh, this is going to be tough. Okay, so here's my thing about remake Freddy. Let's talk positives first. Jackie Earle Haley. In my opinion, a great choice for Freddy Krueger. He was just, once again, working with a really rough script that needed some revision, to say the least. I don't love the look of this Freddy either. They were trying to make it look like, realistic, like a more realistic version of like burned victims, which I get it, but they made Freddy looked like a little rat man. I don't know. I just don't like his look. There's something just off. You know what I mean? There's just something really off about this design. But I like the performance. I just don't like the words coming out of his mouth. That's what's really tough about this. Jackie Earle Haley, once again, great character. I'm going to put him in E tier. Just because there's so many negatives. The movie's pretty trash. But yeah. Mr. L, I agree. Great actor, bad script, which is such a shame. Put remake Freddy in unfamiliar because Lord, that was terrible. He goes below F. He goes into the unfamiliar territory. That's really funny. Negative F. Hard to argue with that, honestly. Remake Freddy isn't bad. Similar to what I said earlier, the movie itself was just bad. Yeah. The movie is just so bad. I think that's why I got to put him down here. Like, even with Freddy Krueger, you still have movies like the first movie. You still have Dream Warriors, which is fine until the ending. Remake Freddy, is interesting. I also really like Freddy's Dead, which, like, maybe that's a hot take, but Freddy's Dead it's fun, man. It realizes how ridiculous the story has gotten, and that's what I appreciate about the movie. Like, Nightmare on Elm Street 5 could have been a so bad it's good movie, but it's just bad because it's trying so hard to be good, but like the script is ridiculous. It's fucking insane. Like, no, just embrace the goofiness. Like, stop trying to be so serious. I don't know, but Nightmare 5, easily the worst of the franchise, but Freddy's Dead, man, it's got some fun shit going on. It ranks very highly on my list, which I can't wait to post that video. Oh God. Speaking of silliness, though, we got to talk about Scary Movie Ghostface. Now, as we know, I don't care about spoiling this. If you haven't seen the movie, trust me, I'm spoiling nothing. It's not really story driven. Let's just say that. But we got old Doofy behind the mask, making all these phone calls. Once again, an iconic killer, but this is almost to Scream's detriment because I know so many people who think Ghostface is from Scary Movie and not from the movie he's actually from. That makes me a little sad. I'm going to put Scary Movie Ghostface at bottom of A tier. Because, like, super iconic, don't get me wrong, but that kind of works against this character, in my opinion, because it just makes Ghostface look worse, Then Scream 3 comes out, and then, Ghostface is even more of a laughing stock, just a bit of a joke. That makes me kind of sad, because I've always felt like Ghostface conceptually is one of the most interesting killers on this whole list. And it's so simple. Like, it's so simple but effective. It's just maybe one of your friends underneath the mask. So not only is someone coming after you to kill you, but it might be because of a personal vendetta with your friends. It creates paranoia. Like, the idea of Ghostface is fantastic, in my opinion. And, Scary Movie kind of puts a damper on that. It's still fun, still silly, it's still a fun movie. But, I put it at the bottom of A tier, personally. I also think Scary Movie hasn't aged all that well, but I guess that's just me. That's a very hot take from old Jake. I'm not as crazy about Scary Movie as I was when I was 10. When I was 10 and I saw that movie, I fucking loved it. I'm like, this is the greatest movie I've ever seen. But I don't know. Nowadays, I'm like, it's all right. It's fine. Scary Movie Ghostface is an S for you, the funniest slasher I've ever seen personally. Oh, hell yeah. Very nice. Very silly. I mean, that, the was it? It's iconic. It's great. Chillin', killing. True. There, see, I did it better now. We're an hour into the stream, but I did it a little better. Put it in bottom of S tier. Oh man, I can't put that above Billy from Black Christmas or Captain Spaulding. Come on, man. There's some great killers up there. Speaking of great killers, though, we got to get to real Ghostface here. Now, here's what's tough. I love the concept of Ghostface. Like I said, I think out of all these killers, one of my favorites is just the simple but effective Ghostface. Just your friend in a mask, creates paranoia. It's so simple but so effective, and that's what I love so much about Ghostface. But the thing about it is there's also been some Ghostface killers I'm not crazy about. You've heard me endlessly talk about how much I'm not crazy about Mrs. Loomis. Like Quinn and Ethan from the new movie. Whatever. But then there's some great Ghostface killers too. Then you got Mickey, then you got Wayne Bailey, then you got Billy Loomis, then you got Stu Macher. Jill Roberts is like easily my favorite sequel killer. So I don't know. That's the only thing that kind of puts a damper on Ghostface, but like, come on, an easy S tier here, without a doubt. But where in the S tier is really the question. I think I put him above. I think I'm gonna give Ghostface the third spot. I'm gonna give him third place, taking the bronze. Don't see that changing. I put him above Chucky. I put him above Chucky. I definitely like the Scream movies more than the Child's Play movies, which is like maybe a hot take, but I don't know. I've always loved Ghostface. I feel like there's so much more they can do with him in these movies that they've yet to explore. They've kind of done like, for the most part, they've done like the same thing with the killer almost every time. And I liked that Scream 6 really ventured into new waters with like a new design, more vicious killing style with Ghostface. I want to see more of that in Scream 7. That's going to be really important to me for the future of the franchise. Every time someone slanders Mrs. Loomis, I literally lose a week off my life. I'm so sorry, Sarah. My God, I'm probably responsible for like a year of your life then. Oh my God. There's rarely a conversation about Scream 2 with me where I don't complain about that. I'm so sorry. It just does not work for me at all. And I wish it did. I like, so many people love Scream 2. I love it. It's a great movie. It's just, man, that third act really weighs it down for me. I'm just not crazy about it. And the other thing about that too, and I'm sorry, I know some of you have heard this rant a million times, but Mickey is such a, like, without a doubt, the best idea for a Ghostface out of all 6 of those movies, and he's overshadowed by a Pamela, I don't know, like, I'm not gonna get into it. A Pamela Voorhees knockoff, It's just like, really? Like, we did that instead of Mickey, who has this killer idea? I don't know. Like, killer motive, the best motive out of all the movies. I don't know. It makes me a little sad. I think that's why I especially am not crazy about her, but I digress. Anyways, let's get on to another member of the Chucky family, Glenn/Glenda. Technically 2 characters, as we saw in the Chucky TV show from season 2. This one's tough. Billy Boyd voicing this character in Seed of Chucky is so fucking funny to me because, the guy's in Lord of the Rings. And then he goes and voices this super silly character. It's like, what? That's great. Glenn/Glenda is one of my favorite parts of Seed of Chucky. There's a lot of that movie that I just don't care for. That's like, it's too ridiculous. It goes into a territory that's too ridiculous. Bride of Chucky is perfect, like with its campy tone. It's, once again, another very unique campy film, but Seed of Chucky goes off the rails, like pushes the camp too far. It's kind of how I feel about like Scream 2 to Scream 3. Like Scream 2, little more campy than the first movie, but it still works. With Scream 3, you're almost in scary movie territory with how campy it gets, and that's kind of why it doesn't work for me. But Glenn/Glenda, definitely one of my favorite parts of that movie for sure. I'm going to put them in C tier because, I don't know, not a scary villain by any means, but an interesting one that explores some themes that we typically don't see in horror movies too often. I think it's a very unique character. So I'm going to put it in C tier. I'm going to give him that. Give him and her that. But very good stuff. Anyways, Mr. Marcos throwing $2 in there. Thank you so much for the super chat, my friend. Once again, I really appreciate the support. Times are tough with, we got horror news this week, which is great, but with the strike going on, not a whole lot to talk about. But saying season 3 2024 because of the writer and actors strike. What I will say is I don't really follow the Chucky show as much. I just really got turned off by season 2. I thought it was even worse than season 1. I'm just not crazy about it, so I'm just not covering it. If there is updates though, maybe I'll do shorts about it, but don't expect a big review. It lost me in season 2 big time. But I don't know. I always give it a chance. Like American Horror Story, I remember I saw season 5 and I wasn't crazy about it. That was kind of the first season where I'm like, this show's starting to dip. And then season 6 was like, wow, completely lost me in season 6. I don't know what the hell was going on that season, but that was the first really bad season of AHS. That was just like, man, I just can't get into this anymore. It's such a shame how far we've fallen from, how good seasons 1 through 3 are. But I don't know. I'll give it a chance for sure. I always like to give shows a chance. If the first episode doesn't really grab me, though, I think I'm going to be done with it. But I will check it out if it is coming out in 2024. That's awesome. I just have not been keeping up with that one. Unfortunately, I just can't. Just not as excited about the show as I am future movies potentially. I really want another Chucky movie, man. I don't know. The show is just so below the quality of every movie. It makes me sad, but I want to see Brad Dourif back on the big screen, big time. That's my big thing with Chucky. But thank you for the $2, my friend. I appreciate it. If it does come out, I hope all of y'all who are fans enjoy it. I really do. Just not for me personally. American Horror Story is very hit or miss. Yeah. Yeah, Murder House and Asylum, though, are so good. I actually really like Coven. Definitely the weakest from seasons 1, 2, and 3, but I like Coven, too. Coven's a really interesting story. The Circus Freak Show. Yeah, Freak Show is good, too. There's some, I don't know, in the middle, it kind of slows down a little bit in Freak Show, which I don't love, but the ending's great. The beginning's great. The clown is iconic, like one of the best parts of American Horror Story, I think. So I don't know. It's very hit or miss. I agree. Some seasons are great. Some seasons are not. And then look at season 10. Like the front half of season 10 is so good. It's all about vampires. Fantastic. And then they do this alien thing on the back half that I just couldn't even get through. I was like, these characters are awful, man. I don't know. It's so weird how that show is. It's very night and day. It's like either fantastic or just I can't even watch it. It's unwatchable. Very back and forth. Detective Bailey was the worst. What? You think Ethan and Quinn were better than Detective Bailey? I don't know about that. That's tough. Ethan and Quinn, the only reason I don't like them is I know nothing about them besides some some funny, corny lines in the third act. That's all they really did for me. But I don't know. I really like Detective Bailey as a killer. I think that they take all of my gripes with Mrs. Loomis and they kind of fix that with Detective Bailey. That's kind of what I liked so much about him. I'm not claiming he's my favorite Ghostface killer. Not really. The mystery surrounding him is pretty awful. I'll tell you that much. But I really liked his motive. I thought his motive was okay, this works for me where Mrs. Loomis did not. So I thought that was interesting. I liked Bailey. His death is also great too. Oh my God, the fucking knife through the eye. That's fucking sick, man. But yeah, I don't know. I really enjoyed that. Okay, anyways, talking about Hannibal Lecter. I mean, listen, one of the best villains of all time. I'm going to be completely honest with you. Portrayed excellently, so good in every movie he's in. I don't know, man. I think I got to give him an S tier. Gonna be honest. I don't. Oh, do I put him above Chop Top? I think I put him above. This is tough. What do you guys think? Where does Hannibal Lecter go? Because I think he's an S tier personally, but do I put him above Chop Top? I really like silly killers. I really like silly killers who can also be brutal. You know what I mean? And the Chop Top, Chucky, Freddy, Art the Clown, they all really resemble that big time. But Hannibal Lecter is hyper intelligent, which is something that's really interesting about him. Some of the other people on this list are way dumber. They're more brutes. They're just big guys who can just, cut you in half, pick you up, whatever. But Hannibal Lecter is much more about his brain, Above Chop Top. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Hot take after Ghostface. Ooh, putting him above Chucky. I I can get behind that, Mr. Rick. I can get behind that, honestly. Hannibal Lecter's great, dude. You guys see Red Dragon, too? Red Dragon's, super underrated. Okay, I'm going to put Hannibal Lecter there. And right below Chucky, but barely. Like, barely below Chucky is what I'm thinking. Anthony Hopkins is the king of the rats. He absolutely is. 100%. Above Chop Top? Yeah, I'd put him above Chop Top. Only because, like, you know, we got one performance from Chop Top that's excellent. We got multiple great performances from Anthony. Hannibal Lecter won an Oscar. Chucky did not. Brian, here's what I'll say about that. You know, horror people don't really care too much about Oscars. As we know, the Oscars have declared war on horror movies. So it's that's a tough thing to argue in this space. That's what I'll say about that. What the fuck, Oscars? Like, seriously, Mia Goth doesn't get at least a nomination for Pearl last. Like, seriously, come on. I don't know. A lot of crazy shit with the Oscars. So many movies that have gotten robbed just this decade. Like, just what, fucking 3 years? 3 years of movies have gotten robbed. Big time. So yeah, Hannibal Lecter, I'm gonna keep him there. I think that's fair. Chucky also, you know, more movies, more great performances from voice performances from Brad Dourif. I will say Anthony, you know, has got a little more physical with the role. So that's a good argument to put him above Chucky, but I kind of like him where he's at. I'm gonna be honest. I like him right where he is. Oh shit. All right. Who's next? Harry Warden. Harry Warden from My Bloody Valentine. We got the original here. We got the remake here, I believe. That's at least how the list has been so far. So, okay, this one, I'm just not crazy about this killer. I think the design is amazing. The kills are pretty solid, but nothing like that blows me away with this killer. I really love the design, though. It's very striking. You see this, the minor killer, you know exactly what it's from. I'm going to put them in, I'm going to put the original one in, right here. I'm going to put them in B tier above some of these other, like, lowbrow slashers, but not below Sleepaway Camp. I definitely like Sleepaway Camp more than My Bloody Valentine. Low B, high C. Okay, that's fair. I'm kind of in the same range. C tier. Okay. Definitely a more iconic look, I think, than some of our other characters in B tier right now, though. That's one of your favorites? Okay, Danny. It's not bad. Like, I'm talking kind of negatively about about this character, but I don't know. I like it. I really like the design for sure. And a lot of their kills they score in that first movie is awesome. But the remake, though, gonna be completely real with you, I'm just not crazy about that remake. The CGI on the kills is so bad and so distracting. It kind of takes away the whole kills for me. I'm putting them at D tier. The remake one at D tier. Yeah, I think I like it right there. And the only reason I feel like, okay, Brandon James goes above remake version of My Bloody Valentine because I think the kills are better with that character, but the design is better, but I don't know. Very weak kills in that remake. I'm not super crazy about it. Oh, and this one's gonna piss off some people. Oh, this one, people are not gonna like this one. But killer from the Fisherman from I Know You Did Last Summer. I'm sorry, y'all. That's an E tier for me. I am a great look, you know, the hook, that's cool and all, but I don't know, I just don't like that movie. I wish I did. I don't like the characters. I think they're all dicks besides Helen Shivers. They kind of deserved it. I'm gonna be honest. Another movie where it's just really hard for me to root for main characters. So it's like, I don't know. Like, that's obviously not the intention here, and that's tough. I know a lot of people grew up with this movie, which is why I think a lot of people like really enjoy it. You know, it's nostalgic from their childhood. I'm just, man, I watched this movie. I've watched this movie twice in the past 3 years, and I'm just not crazy about it. It's probably one of my least favorite Scream, like, in the wake of Scream, all these knockoffs come out. It's probably one of my least favorites, honestly. I don't know, not crazy about it. I wish I liked it more, but Fisherman, that's going to be an E tier for me, but just my thoughts on the matter. C for you, ZZM. Okay. I know a lot of people like this one. I know a lot of Scream fans out there are like, what the fuck, Jake? That's totally fair. I know. I really, it's so weird because I think some of these movies are like fucking amazing. Like that come out in the wake of Scream. You get all these other movies that are very inspired by it. For instance, like I think the urban legend movies, the first two in particular, are so good. Like I'm like, I love these fucking movies. These twists are great. It's essentially just Scream, but instead of a horror movie focus, it's like on urban legends, you know, and I think that's really cool. So I don't know. I love those movies. Valentine is another great movie. Comes out in that same kind of era. And I fucking love it. Like there's a lot of great movies that came out in this time period, but it seems like I know what you did last summer is like the biggest like Scream knockoff. And I'm just like not as, I don't know. I'm kind of shocked by that. I feel like Urban Legend deserves that title more than any of these movies, and rarely does it get talked about, which is a shame. So I don't know. I almost feel like the movie's a little overrated. So I think that's why I throw Old Fisherman down here. But anyways, Danny is saying, I want to read this. What the fuck? I watched today your video about the Halloween franchise and if they do a TV show of Halloween. It was very nice to know. Thanks for the information. Then I forgot to subscribe to your YouTube channel. But now, did you subscribe, Danny? You don't have to. You don't have to, but it would mean the world to me if you did. It really would. I'm almost at 18K. And like, I really want to hit that, before we get into spooky season. I think that would just be really cool. So Danny, it would mean the world to me if you hit that little red button. It's just a little thing. It's a little thing, but it means a lot to me. Leo is saying happy birthday to me. Happy birthday, Leo. Happy birthday to you. There you go. You got a little singing from old Jake. Thanks for being here, Leo. I appreciate you. Happy birthday. Can't believe you're hanging out with me on your birthday. I feel so lucky. Prom Night is such a good movie. Ooh. Not a super iconic killer, but great fucking movie nonetheless. Jamie Lee Curtis, baby. Love it. Great stuff. Very good stuff. All right, let's get back to this. Jack Frost. Oh, fuck. All right. Jack Frost. This is tough. So with Jack Frost, I think Michael Keaton is fucking hilarious voicing this character, but there's some weird shit going on in that movie, man. You get a snowman doing some nasty things that we can't talk about on YouTube. And that's just weird to me, man. But there's not too many killer snowmen, so like I'll give him a high C tier for creativity. I also think it's kind of unique that there's a certain way to kill him in the movie with like antifreeze. It's like, okay, that's, you got creative with it. I think that's fun. But I don't know. Some things about this character I'm not crazy about. A high average score. That's what I'll say. Like a 59% out of 100. Talking Star Wars is throwing $5 Canadian out there. Thank you so much, my friend. Appreciate that. Off topic for a sec, but we got our official poster of Saw X. Yes, we did, my friend. Oh, thank you for the 5, by the way. I appreciate that. I don't have it on here, but I can grab it real quick for y'all who did not see it. I did a little short talking about it and kind of theorizing what the trap could be all about. And what's really funny is Critical Overlord hit me up when I was tweeting about it. He's like, dude, it leaked. Like unfortunately it leaked, and that's why they had to drop it today. I think they were going to release it the same day as the trailer, which rumored to be Friday, but like most likely it's going to come out Friday. Little birdie told me that. Let's just say. But here, I'm going to just real quickly upload this. I really want to show you guys. Like, this is fucking sick. If you have not seen it yet. I think the other thing that's cool about it is it's displaying a trap early, but it's not a spoiler. Like, I would never say that this is a spoiler for the movie because of how vague it is. I don't even know how to explain that without showing it to you. So here we go. Once again, you might have already seen this on my short today, but here we go. Okay, gonna hide that comment real quick. So it's these tubes going into this person's eyes. Now, here's the thing about that. Anything could be coming down these tubes. Sean was here earlier who said these could be vacuum tubes that suck out the eyeballs and like kill you instantly, like sucking your brains out and all that shit too. I'm like, oh, that's fucked up. So I have so many theories. I love that it's not like explicitly like, oh, it's this thing. It's this thing, it's that thing, whatever. And of course they make an X too, which is cool. I love it. I love this trap so much. I'm excited to see it in action. Whatever comes down those tubes or whatever gets sucked through them, I can't fucking wait to see it. Talking Star Wars, though, thank you so much for the 5. I really do appreciate that support. Thank you. Thank you. Fucking posters, badass. One of my favorite posters for a movie in a very long time, for sure. Eyes sucked out or horrible liquid going in. Acid? You know, it could be acid. We have Kevin Grutert in the director's chair again. And don't forget about that insane kill at the end of Saw 6. So, same director. Could be, baby. Tell you what. I'm excited. I'm excited to see it, man. But yeah, Jack Frost, I'm giving him a high C tier. I'll give him that much. You know, very creative, but yeah, I don't know. Some weird things with the character that I'm not crazy about either. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Voorhees. One of the most iconic killers of all time, without a doubt. Where does Jason fare? So, I love Jason. I really do. But man, can I put him above, you know, Arts, above Freddy, above Ghostface, above Chucky, above Hannibal Lecter, Candyman? I'll put him above Chop Top because he's definitely got a little more influence. But I'm gonna be real with y'all. I think that's as high as old Jason goes for me. Definitely an S tier, you know, without a doubt, of course. But man, I don't know. I love those movies. They're so much fun, but they're very mindless. Like, I think what I love so much about pretty much all of the villains above him at the moment is there's just so much more to chew on with these movies. Like, the Friday movies are very fun. Like I said, like, watch them with your friends. Get fucked up and watch a Friday movie. It'll be a blast. But I think like Candyman, you know, Silence of the Lambs, the Chucky movies, Scream, Nightmare on Elm Street, the Terrifier flicks. There's just so much more to talk about story-wise. Like, it's pretty much the same thing every time you see Jason. I will say I love that we get different variants of this character in every movie pretty much. You know, he doesn't look the same all the time. He's got a bag on his head sometimes. He's got a hockey mask. Sometimes he's a little boy jumping out of a swamp. But I don't know. I think there's just not as much to the Friday films as some of these other franchises, but that's okay. You know, not every franchise needs to be this deep thinker with a lot of shit going on. Sometimes you need a Friday the 13th movie that's just dumb fun, kind of mindless, just a fucking character running around stabbing people in the face. That's all you need sometimes. So Jason is without a doubt an S tier. I mean, one of the most influential slashers. Him and Freddy are 1 and 2, I think, for as far as influence. Chucky maybe coming behind at third place there, but damn, love me some Jason for sure. For sure an S tier. And ZZM makes a great point here. Jason is S tier, but his movies are B tier. I couldn't agree more with that. If it weren't for how terrifying he is, Friday the 13th would be average. Yeah, yep, spot on, my friend. I couldn't agree more with that. Only slasher that had a true versus film. True, very true. Him and Freddy. Yeah, I mean, we've had versus movies. We've had, you know, Alien versus Predator. What's really funny is the girl from The Ring and The Grudge both have a fight movie, which is insane. I still haven't seen that. It's like Sadako versus Kayoko. Is that what it is? I need to see that movie. I have not seen that yet, and I hear it's got to be insane. Like, I'm excited. I'm excited to check that out. Above Hannibal Lecter. Okay, Lisa, that's fair. I mean, like, these are all fair. Like, this is a hot take for me, I think, saying that. Horror Den is saying, Jake, is there a reason you don't have the Creeper on the list? Is he not considered a slasher? Oh, definitely. He's definitely considered a slasher. I actually don't know why he's not on here. I couldn't tell you. Yeah, there is no Creeper. That's weird. Yeah, the Creeper would rank pretty high for me, though. I got to be honest. You know, I got to put him below Pennywise, though. I got to put him below Pennywise because, you know, he's kind of the same thing, but, you know, different. The powers are different, though, which is cool. But I would, like, honestly, Horror Den, just for you, because he's not on the list, I would probably put the Creeper in, like, a high A tier. Maybe, like, the middle. Maybe between, like, Esther and Billy here. I think that's where I would probably put the Creeper. But, like, definitely an A tier. Like, a really cool, iconic villain, for sure. Ring versus The Grudge, is bizarre, but give it a watch. I gotta check it out. Grim, I have to see this movie. It's on Shudder if you guys are curious, by the way. Mr. L, you saw it in theaters in Japan. That's fucking awesome. Holy shit. I'm jealous. Nice. Dylan is saying Kayak. Oh, and Toshi. Yeah, Toshio's the little boy, right? That's like the fucking the spirit or whatever. I love that original movie. The Grudge remake's fantastic. Don't get me wrong. Like, both are great, but damn, the original's fucking good too. Same with The Ring. Like the original, like Ringu is like amazing, and then the remake is essentially the same movie, but just a slightly different. But both are fucking amazing. I don't know. Those are 4 films everyone needs to see. Like most of y'all have probably seen the remakes, but watch the originals. Give those a chance. Like those are really good. The Ring, in my opinion, does some things better than the remake for sure. Like especially with how they set up their villain. I think it's way better than the remake personally. But the remake, I think, is scarier, though. I'm really excited to talk about, the girl from The Ring. I always mix it up. I always mix up the girl from The Grudge and the girl from The Ring. They're like kind of cousins in my mind. they're like besties. You know, they hang out all the time. They kind of look like each other because they hang out so much. That's the mental image I have of those 2 horror villains. But anyways, remake Jason. Remake Jason, definitely still high up on my list. I don't know if I put him up in S tier, but someone said earlier, they're like, oh, remake Jason's like better than the original Jason. It's hard for me to argue with that. It really is. I think that remake Jason is fucking fantastic. I just don't think he pulls the same influence as 80s Jason. That's my only thing. That's my one thing that I think knocks him down a peg personally, but I'm much more terrified of remake Jason than I am 80s Jason. That's what I'll say. But my God, like a great new addition or like a great like new version of the character for sure. Like out of all the remakes we got in the thousands, this was one of the most inventive in the style of like taking a new approach to a familiar killer. So I'm going to put him right there. Derek Mears, fantastic in this role. An easy A tier, I think for sure, without a doubt. Do I put him above Billy? I think I put him... Shit. I'm sorry, Black Christmas. I think I'm putting remake Jason above you. Black Christmas, definitely a better movie than the Friday remake, but I think I like Jason as a killer, like remake Jason as a killer just a little more than Billy personally. So I'm not going to put him above Captain Spaulding, but it's tough. It's really tough. What about Ghost Jason and Jason Goes to Hell? So I'm counting Jason in S tier as Jason Goes to Hell Jason as well. I mean, it's not really Jason. It's a little bug thing that fucking lives inside of Jason's body. But, I mean, whatever. I guess that's still kind of canon. Jason X, same thing. Ghost Jason, I'm assuming you're referring to the Womp Stomp Jason. I really like Womp Stomp Jason. I like his design. My only criticism about those films is I think his design's a little weird in Never Hike in the Snow. But besides that, I fucking love what Womp Stomp has done. Like, that's literally my only thing. My only teeny issue. Womp Stomp's amazing, though. If you guys have not subscribed to them, check them out. They're single-handedly keeping the Friday the 13th franchise alive. And I misspoke there because there's actually new Friday stuff coming. But for the longest time, they were keeping that franchise alive, keeping the hype going. But man, I think I'm going to like Womp Stomp's new movie that comes out in October more than I like the Crystal Lake series. And man, crazy shit, Extron. But yeah, I really like their version of Jason big time. I would probably put, like, if he was on the list, I'd probably put him in a low A tier, I think, personally. Jason Goes to Hell, what a mess. Hey, you know what? At least we got Creighton Duke out of it. At least we got like one of the best side characters out of the entire movies from it. That's my one big positive from it. That's what I'll say. Mr. L, thank you for the $2, my friend. I appreciate you. Saying Friday the 13th, 2009 is my favorite Jason. Hard to disagree. Hard to disagree with that. I think that he is fucking awesome. Like so much scarier because he runs. Like he's very tactical. He's very like much more of a survivalist feel, which feels more akin to the character. Like, just feels like it makes more sense that way to have him be this survivalist character who's been living out in the woods this whole time. I really like remake Jason. I can't argue with that at all, Mr. L. Really great points to prop up this version of Jason. So good. Thank you so much for the $2, though. I really appreciate that. I wouldn't blame you for putting remake Jason in S tier. Couldn't blame you, even in the slightest. Aaron, just came home from the strike and tuning in. Was at Netflix. Nice, Aaron. On the front lines here. Love it. Love it, Aaron. Thank you so much for that support. That's amazing. I'm going to donate to the entertainment fund real soon here. I want to help out if I can. I'm pretty broke at the moment, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to put something towards that. Really want to help my friends who are out there on strike, doing something to get better pay. Support the WGA and SAG-AFTRA. I really got to share that link out though. But support them in any way you can, even if it's something like this, just standing on the front lines, waving a sign around, giving the middle finger to Netflix, Disney, all these corporations. Come on. we got to do something here. Y'all ain't even asking for that much. Like, come on. These companies, man, come on. What the fuck's going on here? So that's amazing. Very commendable, Aaron. Great stuff. You're my favorite tonight. You're number one. I love it. Donating on the second. Nice. Very nice. ZZM is saying remake Jason slaughters those people at the beginning with the quickness. Yeah, very quick. It's just like knocks them right out. Runs out of nowhere, just starts cutting them up. It's great. The fucking sleeping bag kill is so good in the remake. Damn. Versus films they should do. Megan versus Buddy. Oh, man. That would be something. Art versus Leprechaun. Ooh. Interesting. And Candyman versus Freddy. Okay. I could see Candyman versus Freddy. Art needs a versus movie, I think for sure, but we just haven't yet to meet the slasher villain that's going to do it. Like, here's the thing. We were talking about this on the Lethal Collective the other night. I promise we're getting back to the ranking, but this is important. We were talking about this on the Lethal Collective the other night, but I think 100% in the wake of Terrifier 2's success, you're going to see all these bloody, gory slashers come about that are going to just fucking like knock some socks off and be kind of like Terrifier clones in a bit. But I think we get at least one other iconic horror villain from those, and that could be the person to fight Art. I think we've yet to see that movie, but I think it's coming. And I would love to see that versus movie sometime down the line. Hopefully not another killer clown, though. Give me something else. Give me a different kind of killer going up against Art. That would be cool. All right, speaking of someone who claims to not be a killer, we got old Jigsaw here. He definitely doesn't kill anybody. You know, he just puts them in situations where they're very likely to die, as he likes to self-proclaim. Jigsaw, in my opinion, is without a doubt an S tier. I think he's, once again, another super intelligent killer like Hannibal Lecter. Ooh. But I think I put him above Hannibal Lecter. Gonna be honest. I really like Tobin Bell. I think Tobin Bell's amazing in this role. Incredible killer from an incredible franchise. Saw traps are so unique too. Out of all the characters on this list, I think Jigsaw kills his victims in the most unique way. Even if he claims to not be killing people. The Saw franchise is like one of my all-time favorite horror franchises too. I think it's so much fun. It's ridiculous. It's insane, but it all kind of works. There's a lot of effort that's put into some of those sequels, and a lot of people want to shit on like movies like past the third entry. And I think that's so, I don't know. I think that kind of sucks. I think that like 4, 5, and 6 is such an interesting arc. 4, 5, 6, and 7 is such an interesting arc. Even if, some of those movies aren't as good as the other ones, I still really enjoy them. They're really fun. The twists are ridiculous, but it's always a good time. There's no Saw movie where I'm bored watching it. I could sit through any of those and have a good time. So Jigsaw going way up on the list. Love him. I missed him in Spiral. I'm excited to see him back in Saw X. It's going to be great. Killer Clowns from Outer Space against Art the Clown. Ooh! Okay, hang on. I could get into that, Leo. That could be fun. Maybe we'll finally get a sequel to that at some point. We got the video game coming out. Maybe they bring it back. Maybe we get like a requel for Killer Clowns from Outer Space. That could be fun. Imagine that with like modern effects too. Holy shit. Be awesome. ZZM saying B, don't throw eggs at me. We won't. We respect everyone's opinion around here. Of course. But I love Jigsaw. Ooh, love him so much. Great killer. Jake, what about Art the Clown versus Michael Myers? Another great one for sure. Actually, if we get another Halloween film, I could see something like this happening. Why not? Michael's gotten goofy before in the past. You guys ever see Halloween 5? there's some goofy shit going on in that movie. What the hell? The cops walking around with clown sound effects. Maybe we were foreshadowing that all the way back in 1989. Love it, Chosen. I dig it. I'm into that. The Collector versus Jigsaw. This would be very fitting considering the Collector is from some Saw alum people, Marcus Dunstan and Patrick Melton. I could see that. I could totally see something like that happening. That could be fun. I love that we're talking about versus movies too. I got to have a whole stream focused on that. That would be fun. That would be a really fun ranking. All right, getting into some more TCM. We were talking about Chop Top earlier. Let's talk about the main attraction, old Leatherface, 1974 version. I mean, listen, without a doubt, he's going way up there for sure. Where do I put Leatherface? Man, this is tough. I think I'm gonna put Leatherface at a very high A tier, like the very top of it. And I only don't put him in S tier because I feel like there's a lot of versions of Leatherface that I'm just not crazy about. I'm counting, so for this version of Leatherface, because we have remake Leatherface we're gonna talk about, I'm counting like the first 4 movies. So talking like the first movie, we're like excellent, super iconic villain. Second movie, very similar design, but a sillier take on the character. A little dumber too in that movie, I think. But still, you know, super iconic. Him running around with the fucking chainsaw is awesome. But then we have the third movie, which, like, honest to God, one of the most boring horror sequels I've ever seen in my life. It's not like, I don't know, it's bad. I'm not a whole lot of entertaining things going on in that third movie, in my opinion. The golden chainsaw is cool, like that's fun. But that's the very little excitement from that movie, in my opinion. And then, of course, you know, Next Generation, for those who were brave enough to watch that one. It's something else. But I love Leatherface regardless. I think, you know, anyone who saw the Texas Chainsaw Massacre when they were younger almost maybe thought it was real and were horrified by it. Leatherface is one of the scariest villains on this list, without a doubt. And I think, unlike like Jigsaw and Hannibal Lecter, why he's so scary is it's almost like he's so dumb. His motive is just to kill because his family is telling him to. And there's something really scary about that. There's a lot of commentary in that original Texas Chainsaw. And I think that's great. The original is one of the best horror films ever made. It's so scary and on a budget, but it's still so well done. Oh, God. I'm only putting him, like I said, him in A tier because I think there's been some bad representation of Leatherface in just some of the other sequels. And I'm thinking like that time period from like 1 to 4 is kind of how I'm picturing this Leatherface. Ooh, Leatherface's best look is the remake. Let's talk about that. Let's get into it. I prefer the remake and TCM the beginning over the old ones. They're great movies. Oh, they're great movies. I think I probably put 1 and 2 above the remakes because I love those movies so much. Like, they're just so much fun. But without a doubt, below that is the remake and the beginning. I'm hitting my mic now. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Without a doubt. I mean, without a doubt in my mind, those are my top 4. Like, I don't know. TCM2 I have a soft spot for because Chop Top is so unique and such a great horror villain that I wish we had more of. I also love that Tobe Hooper approached the sequel to his own film in a completely different way than the original film. And that was so necessary. Like, I think if they would have just made another movie that was akin to the original, it might not have hit as hard. Like, I really appreciated that, you know, 1986. Horror is a little sillier at this point because, once again, we're in the wake of Nightmare on Elm Street. Huge influential movie. We get a Texas Chainsaw Massacre sequel, and it's fitting with the times. I love that. I think Tobe Hooper is such a great horror director, and so many people don't even know that name. Some people hear that, and they're like, what? Like, who's that? And it's like, the Texas Chainsaw guy. Come on. He made that crazy alligator movie, too, that no one talks about, but it's so good. So, yes, Leatherface is very high A tier, in my opinion. But great stuff. Sarah's saying Jigsaw over Hannibal Lecter. I went to clutch my imaginary pearls. I swear it's like we're reading the same book, but are always on different pages. I'm so sorry, Sarah. I love Jigsaw. I really do. I put Jigsaw and Hannibal Lecter are very like neck and neck, in my opinion. I give Jigsaw the edge because I think he's just a little more creative of a character versus Hannibal Lecter. Like, that's even saying that feels wrong, though. You know what I mean? Like, Hannibal Lecter is such a good fucking villain. Like, so well written. Some of those sequences in Silence of the Lambs, I mean, are chilling. Like, some of the shit that comes out of his mouth, it's so fucking evil. But Jigsaw, I love the idea of putting someone in a trap. Like, that revolutionized horror in the early thousands. That's that's groundbreaking. That is a Scream level, like, holy shit, we can do this. Like, what? That's so new. Like, without Jigsaw, I don't know what Thousands horror looks like. Like, I don't think it would get as brutal without movies like Saw, especially Saw. Like, you have like Cabin Fever and Hostel that are also very, torture porn kind of movies like that. But without Saw, without Jigsaw, I mean, the Thousands, the entire decade wouldn't look the way it does. So I think Jigsaw just carries a little more influence than Hannibal Lecter does. That's my big reasoning. Like, influence is really important too. Like, not just what they do in the movie, but like how they affect the genre. Like Saw, Scream, Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street. Like, these movies are some of the most important horror flicks of all time. Love them or hate them. They changed the entire game when they came out. So I think that's why I put him, I only ever so slightly put him above Hannibal Lecter, is what I'll say. But Hannibal Lecter, great killer. I mean, without a doubt. Like, an easy S tier for sure, though, Sarah. So I think we're on the same page. I'm a dork, and I love how a horror movie will come out and just change the fucking game. I think that Terrifier 2 is on its way to be that as well. So I don't know. I love shit like that. I love when a movie comes out and completely changes the game, makes the zeitgeist of the time just something entirely different. So I don't know. I think that's kind of why I put him up where he is. So Sarah, I'm so sorry, but thank you for the 5. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to do our podcast tomorrow too. Oh, we got a lot to talk about. It's gonna be great. Mr. L's throwing 5 in there as well. Thank you, my friend. Saying Vile Eye put it best. Jigsaw is a villain for villains. Yes, that's another. Okay, that's another great point too. Jigsaw in his mind is killing people he thinks are bad until he's not, until he's so far gone in his own ego that he's kind of just playing God. And I think that's another thing that's great. His arc is like so well developed. There's a lot of weird. Listen, I'll admit, a lot of weird shit going on in some of those Saw sequels. Admittedly, yes, but some of the things they set up about John is so fucking fascinating to me. Like, I could talk about that franchise all day. Like, just like my same excitement and enthusiasm I have for the Scream franchise, I share with the Saw franchise, but it just seems like there's not as many, people on YouTube who are as excited about that. And it makes me sad because I could pick apart those movies all day. Like, holy shit. So good. The Saw films are something else. There's so much more than just, it's for gore hounds, that's the stigma, right? Is what everyone says about those movies. But man, there's so much more to it. There's the ideology of John Kramer is one of the most fascinating things. I would do anything to write a character akin to that. That would be great. But Mr. L, thank you so much for the $5. Do really appreciate that. He thinks he's a good guy, but he's not. Jigsaw was the first film I had seen from that franchise. Oh God. I'm so sorry, my friend. That is easily the worst one, I think. That's easily the worst one. I saw you wanted me to say something about that. Watch any other movie in the franchise. Fun fact. They're all better. But like, especially the first 3. Like, if you haven't seen the first 3, oh my God, they're so good. Watch those first 3. So good. So good movies. Grim is saying, would you consider the Demogorgon a horror icon? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, fuck yeah, for sure. Very recognizable, I think, from like just the past 10 years of horror, like one of the bigger horror monsters. That's more of a monster though versus a slasher. God, I sound like the actually guy, like actually it's a monster. No, I don't give a shit. He's a horror icon, okay? That's where we're at. Chosen, you haven't seen the first one? Oh my God. Oh, dude, watch the first one, man. Like, that's your homework. Your homework tonight is to watch the first Saw movie and the third one. Watch 1, 2, and 3. Oh, so good. 2 is fantastic. Saw 6 is my favorite, but 1, 2, and 3 are phenomenal, dude. Oh my God. So good. Such good horror flicks. Okay, I got to get back to this. I'm sorry. I get so excited about things. I can't help myself. Leatherface from the remake, which is what I think this is, because these pictures are kind of vague. He's going pretty high up on my list as well. I think he's an easy A tier. I'm going to put him slightly below remake Jason, though. I really like this version of Leatherface. I've heard some... I don't know if I want to say that publicly. I've heard some things about the actor that portrays this character, which really turns me off to remake Leatherface. But I still love it. It's very brutal. It's not as... I think what I love so much about the remake, though, is not so much Leatherface, but R. Lee Ermey who is playing like a standout role in both the remake and the beginning film. I almost like him more than the remake Leatherface, which is crazy. Someone said earlier though they like the design for the remake version of Leatherface better. I agree with you there. I just feel like original Leatherface is a little more interesting, especially from that first movie. I give him some props over the remake. I think he's a little stupider, where like, which I think aids the character. Once again, it's like that stupid like rage of this character. It's like it's something that's a little more horrifying. It's not you can't pinpoint it, like why he's doing it. His family's kind of telling him what to do, but he's so big and brooding, like he's gonna hurt you even though he may not want to. There's something really scary and upsetting about that to me that I feel like the remake just doesn't capture as well. It does a little bit, for sure it does, but it's much more, the remake to me is much more about Arlie Ermy giving this fucking killer performance as the sheriff. That to me is my favorite villain without a doubt from that one. So if he was on this list, I might even put him above original Leatherface. Hot take. I fucking love that character so much. Another person gone, unfortunately. Rest in peace to Arlie Ermy. So many iconic roles from him. My God. But that's kind of my hot take. I do love those remakes, though. They're great. They're some of the best remakes from the thousands, without a doubt, especially from Platinum Dunes. Michael Myers is the slasher god. Jacob, I know you're dying here, but we're getting to Michael. We've got 2 more people. we'll get to Michael. I promise, my friend. Oh, it's gonna be fun. I'm very excited to talk about that. All right, we got Leslie Vernon up next, though. Little more uncommon, but I think enough people know about the rise of Leslie Vernon. Ooh. A very fun meta movie that rarely gets talked about, which is a shame because I think it's so fun. It's such a great, slick commentary on slasher movies. I'm going to put this one pretty high up. I really like this design. I think he's underrated too, which, listen, I'm from Cleveland. We all love underdogs here because we are underdogs. We never win at anything. Whenever that happens to someone else, we can just relate a little bit. I'm going to put him in a high B tier, like top in the B tier is where I'm putting him. Leslie Vernon, you really get to know the character throughout the runtime of the film too. And I think what's so interesting about that movie, kind of the same reason why I love the Creep films. It's like you get to know this person and, you get this girl who's following him the whole time. Her name is slipping my mind, but it's almost like she thinks that he's not really going to do it. He's just going through like a mental breakdown or something. But then it's like, oh wait, this guy really is a fucking slasher villain and he's killing people. We got to get the fuck out. We got to get the fuck out of Dodge. I love that movie so much, and I love getting to know this character, getting to see it from their perspective. Another movie super influential on me for like Red Right Hand and all that. I love that film so much. So Rise of Leslie Vernon. If you have not seen it, I highly recommend it, especially if you're a fan of like Scream, Cabin in the Woods, Tucker and Dale versus Evil. I highly recommend that film. I could not. It never gets talked about. Everyone, when we're talking about meta horror movies from like the 2000s or like the 2010s, it's always Tucker and Dale versus Evil. It's always Cabin in the Woods. Rightly so. Great films. Don't get me wrong. But the Rise of Leslie Vernon, man, Behind the Mask. It's called Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon. Very wordy title too, which I'm not crazy about. But a killer film. Go watch it. Mr. Rick, I hope I answered your question. The Horror MBA. What's up, my friend? How's it going? Thanks for being here. Thank you so much for the 5. Appreciate you. You missed the greatest villain of all, Death from Final Destination. Oh, I mean, do we count Death as a slasher though? That's really tough. That is really tough because like the first movie is set up much more like a slasher film with an invisible killer. But then you get into the sequels, and then it's more of like a happenstance kind of thing. It's like, oh, this is just these accidental chain reactions are just happening to all these characters. I don't know if we can count Death as a slasher. Like maybe from the first movie because like you actually get to see like shit being worked a certain way. Like the water running down to the electricity. It's clearly being guided by something. I don't know. That's really tough. That's a really tough one. Horror MBA, but it's definitely arguable. I will say that because, like I said, that first movie, maybe not so much the sequels to Final Destination, but that first one is definitely like structured like a slasher for sure. So very arguable, but I love that you brought it up. I really do. If it was on here, if I had to rank Death somewhere from Final Destination 1, I'm sorry, my friend. I got to disagree with you. I don't know if he's the greatest of all time. I'd probably put him in D tier. Only because I just feel like the sequels get the idea of Final Destination just a little better. I like that the sequels aren't structured so much as a slasher where the first one is. So I like most of the sequels more than the first one, which is another hot take from Jake, I guess. But Devon Sawa is great in that first movie, though. The cast, I think, is the best in the first movie, but I just think the way the other films are structured is maybe just a little teeny tiny better. But I love those films so much. Oh God, they're fun. They are so much fun. Even 3, which like sure has some crazy effects in it. It's still a lot of fun. 3 and 4 are, they're shaky, but there's some good stuff. There's a lot of fun to be had there. 2 and 5 though are chef's kiss, amazing. Love them. 2 is I love the twist in 5, but I think 2 might be my favorite of the whole franchise. 2 is really growing on me. But Horror MBA, thank you so much for the $5. Your profile picture, I don't know what it is, but it looks really scary, and I dig that. Very good stuff. Thank you for the 5, my friend. Thank you. Oh, ZZM makes a good point, though. It is impossible to beat death, so shit. Just like puberty, death is unavoidable. Some of us just want to... some of us just want to be... I can't say that. You know what? I have to learn to stop myself on live streams sometimes, or I'm going to say something that someone's going to post it on Twitter, and then it's all over for Jake. Happy is saying Scream Queef and quickly corrected it to Queen, and I'm sorry, Happy. I had to point that out. That's really funny. I hate when I queef and scream at the same time, and it just felt really relatable in the moment. Anyways, getting back to Saw, we got Saw X coming out later on this year. Super excited for it. I can't fucking wait. Mark Hoffman. Easily my favorite Jigsaw disciple, accomplice, whatever you want to call him. I'm putting him up there pretty high. I think that this character shines big time in the 6th and 7th installments. Man, where do I put him? I'm going to put him right... wow, that's really high up B tier. I'm going to put Mark Hoffman right there in B tier. Like a high B tier. Now, I don't like him better than Leslie Vernon, but God, he's a good character. Holy shit. I think I especially like Mark Hoffman because, how do I word this? He's really fucked up for, of course, being a disciple, accomplice of Jigsaw's, but then he takes it down his own, personal avenue that I think is so interesting and makes those Saw sequels really worth your time for that reason. I think if Mark was just the stand-in for John and just did the same thing, followed orders, I'd be like, okay, whatever. But the fact that he has his own agenda, I think is just so interesting and so fun. He's constantly covering up his tracks and trying to maintain his job and all that shit. There's so much good shit. So much good shit from Mark Hoffman in those sequels. I don't know. I love him. I think he's a great killer. Mark Hoffman should be a Jigsaw killer from Mortal Kombat. Got reflexes after all. Dude, my man has some crazy saves in some of those sequels, man. Especially 5 and 6. Oh my God. Damn. Fucking love those movies. Horror MBA's throwing $2 in there as well. Thank you so much, my friend. The support is amazing. Thank you. Everyone on this list is an agent of death. Yes. And that's why we kind of love all of them a little bit. we love all of them a little bit. Come on. Of course we do. Very good stuff, Horror MBA. I love it. Agents of Death. I am become death, destroyer of worlds. I think everyone has said that in the past week, so I'm like, okay, you know what? It's getting old. We gotta put it to bed. Horror MBA. Thank you for the $2, my friend. Thank you. Jacob Myers. Corey is not on the list, believe it or not. What? Corey Cunningham? Not on the list. He's an iconic slasher villain. Well, not really, but let's talk about one of the actual iconic slasher villains on the list, baby. Michael fucking Myers. Now, Michael is really special to me for many reasons. I think that, we could have just had a killer with Michael Myers who is just this guy in a mask who's running around, stabbing babysitters, whatever, but there's more to Michael than just that. I mean, my man didn't say a fucking word for a long time. Dr. Loomis is done with his fucking job that he's worked his whole life to have. He's like, there's nothing I can do. He's given up on this person, which is completely against that type of job. And then he gets out and goes around killing people. I think if it wasn't for Dr. Loomis basically being his hype man, I wouldn't like Michael Myers as much, but because of that, it makes that movie something really special. The mystique around Michael is his strongest quality. besides his iconic look. I put Michael, I think I got to put him a little higher up than this. I really like Michael. He's a scary fucking villain, man. I'm going to put him above Chucky. I'm going to put him slightly below Ghostface. But he takes the 4th spot. I'm really sorry. Listen, Michael is definitely is Michael scarier than Ghostface? I don't know. It's really tough to say because I think Ghostface is so, the paranoia that Ghostface creates is great, but Michael Myers also does that too. Like, look at Halloween Kills. You know, like, I mean, the whole town is freaking out. Say what you want about the evil dies tonight chant. It's annoying, but it's also really interesting. It's a really interesting concept to see a whole town up in arms, freaking out, trying to stop this thing, and there's just nothing they can do. So, man, Ghostface and Michael are very neck and neck, in my opinion. I don't know. I think either or could be in that 3rd spot there. Both are great. Both are amazing. I don't know if I put Michael above Freddy, though, because Freddy, I mean, shit. If it wasn't for Robert Englund playing that character in some of those sequels, I think they would be unwatchable. But I'm going to make some tough decisions tonight, everybody. Mr. L is saying scarier than Ghostface. I'd say so. Everyone will have a different answer, though. Think I'm putting them there. And you know what? I think I'm putting Ghostface here too. I'm thinking quality of movies overall. And I just, you know, Ghostface, I like the Scream movies just a little more than the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. That's really tough. But Robert Englund gets some mad kudos from me for making those movies watchable. But God, they're bad. God, they're just bad. It's a shame. But yeah, I think that's my top 3. That's my top 3. I love Michael. Love it. Jake's tripping. We're going to have to get Jake. I know, man. I'm sorry. Myers is right there. Art the Clown's still my number 1. I'm so sorry. Michael Myers is great and all, don't get me wrong, but I love that Art the Clown is just a goofy little guy joking around, cutting people's arms off and shit. He's easily the most brutal, I think, on this whole list. Like, without a doubt. And that's so important to me. Like, that's why I love slasher movies, is his brutality, gore, a great killer, great idea for a killer. I also just fucking love everybody that's involved with the Terrifier movies. Like, they're all so nice. They're like the coolest people on planet Earth. So, yeah, Art the Clown's my number 1. I'm sorry. In terms of rewatchability, the Scream movies are better than Nightmare without a fucking doubt. Scream 3, which is like my least favorite, is better than the majority of the Nightmare sequels, which, like, I don't know. I just don't know what went wrong. Art also has the advantage of being mysterious. Absolutely, Mr. L, too. I totally agree with that as well. Like, I don't know as much about him, and I want to know more, and that, to me, is really intriguing. I love that. I would put Michael from 2018 and Kills on S and put Michael from Ends on F. Well, yeah, I think most people would. Yes, 100%. I agree. Sarah's saying, with peace, love, and respect, I do not understand the hype around Art the Clown. I think he's one of the most iconic horror villains of all time. I think 10 years from now, we'll still be talking about Art the Clown. Maybe we'll still see movies from him. I don't know. I know, like, the gore and the ultra over-the-top insanity is not for everybody, but it's my cup of tea. It's my disgusting, eyeball-filled cup of tea that I fucking love. I don't know. I can't get enough of those movies. And the quality of those two films, I just think, blows some of these other ones out of the water. Like, Terrifier 2, I think, is my favorite slasher movie of all time. The more I watch it, the more I love it. I don't know. Some people want to say the acting's bad. I completely disagree. I don't know. It's very captivating. Sienna is fucking amazing. Such a good final girl to go up against one of the best slasher villains of all time. I don't know. It's great. It's crazy. Crazy stuff. Carrie Craves Cinema has been a member for 15 months. Holy shit, Carrie. Thank you so much. Saying, oh my God, best tasting Kool-Aid I've ever had. Thank you, Carrie. I love you. Thank you for being here. Really appreciate you. You've been sipping on that Kool-Aid for 15 months. That's awesome. Thank you so much, though, Carrie. I really do appreciate your support. Means the world to me. Thank you for being here. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. A lot of fun stuff. All right, Remake Michael. Here's some hot takes. I like Remake Michael. I do. He's bigger. He's scarier. He's crazier. But I just don't love... I just don't love that first movie. I just don't. I think the second movie is interesting because it's really unique. It's its own thing. And I think for the most part, Halloween 2 is an effective film, but man, that first movie, I just cannot get into it. That back half of that is almost unwatchable in my opinion. I just can't get into it. It's just like nonstop brutality or like awful character moment. Like the characters are so bad. I just can't get into that first Rob Zombie movie, man. I almost dislike it more than Halloween Ends. I don't know. I'm just not crazy about it. That really puts a damper on it for me. I'm going to put remake Michael like right a little above Nightmare Freddy because I think objectively Tyler Mane is Michael Myers is like scarier, but where Freddy I don't think needs to be scarier. I think he's just the right amount of scary. I'm going to put him above remake Freddy, but he's a B tier for me. I don't know. Not crazy about those movies. Even though 2 I think is not 2 has really grown on me. 2's grown on me big time. Oh man. Good stuff. Really good stuff. This list is fucking nuts, man. Oh my God. All right, Norman Bates, baby. Norman Bates. I mean, technically the first slasher villain of all time. Technically. Very, very arguably the first slasher of all time. Where does Norman go? I mean, great performance from him, especially like even in the sequels, he's amazing. Damn, I don't know. I don't put him up too high though, honestly. I'm not losing my mind over him, but I mean, without Norman Bates, I don't know if we have some of the other characters on this list, most of them. I don't know if we have most of the characters on the list without Norman Bates. So definitely, a lot of influence. Old ass movie that we like still everyone knows. The shower scene is the most iconic piece of film out there. I'm going to put Norman Bates I'm going to put him right there. A tier, but like, I don't know. Am I like losing my mind over Norman Bates? Like if they made a new Psycho movie? No. That's my other thing about it. It's like I just feel like there are other slasher villains I'm a little crazier about. But I like Norman Bates and a respectful B. Sarah, you know what? Hard for me to disagree. I put him at the bottom. Put him towards the bottom of A. Do I like him more than Esther though? I'm putting him there. Bottom of A. We gotta listen. We gotta respect our elders. We gotta respect where we came from. You know what I mean? That's how I see it. Like no one else on this list would exist without Norman Bates. I don't think so. He's going there. Psycho's amazing though. Like Psycho's a fucking incredible film. So I think I don't know. It's great movie. Don't get me wrong, but Norman Bates, respectably, a low A, high B. Carrie Crave Cinema is throwing $2 out there saying, guess what? After this, you're getting a sticker. Holy shit. And Carrie wasn't wrong. A super sticker just came in. Thank you so much, Carrie. I really appreciate that. You know how much I love stickers and eating them, and I just munch on them. It's great. Very good stuff. Carrie, thank you so much for the support. Thank you for the 15 months. That is awesome. Thank you. Very good stuff. Really appreciate you. You're the best. Horror Den is saying, where would KillJoy Jamie go on the list? I'm not gonna be the one to say that. I'm gonna sound so full of myself if I'm like, oh yeah, Jamie, where does he go? Where do you guys put Jamie from Red Right Hand on the list? I'll ask you guys that. Where would you put him at? Okay, let's get through these. We only got a few more here. Pamela Voorhees. Gonna be straight up with y'all. That's an E tier for me. I'm putting Pamela just above remake Freddy. Not crazy about this character. I think that she's fine. I don't know. A lot of people are like, oh, the performance is amazing. It's fine. It's whatever. I'm not crazy about that first Friday. I think it might be the weakest one in the whole franchise. And there's like 12 of those fucking movies. And I'm like, man, that might be the Pamela Voorhees, man. That might be my weakest one. She does get her head cut off though, and then she's got like these hairy man hands, which I think is really fucking funny to me. It's like that. Wait, she didn't have that in literally the previous shot. That's nuts. Not crazy about Pamela though. Gonna be honest. Not crazy about Pamela. Not crazy about Mrs. Loomis. I'm sorry, Sarah. My apologies. But yeah, I don't know. Not crazy about it. Carrie is saying Jamie was fantastic, although I bet he smells like basement, old gym socks, and Cheetos. I'm so glad that came across. Yeah, no, he's a stinky little fella. That's so funny. I love it. Jamie S tier. Thanks, Extron. I appreciate that. KillJoy Benedict. SS plus. Nice. Jamie goes to A. Okay. Hey, I feel that, man. I feel that. B, he's definitely scary because you think he's your friend. Yeah, absolutely. For sure. You would put Pamela at C. Okay. That's fair. That's fair, Chris. I'm just not, I don't know. I'm just not crazy about her. Performance doesn't do it for me all that much. I'm not like, she's just upset about her good boy, drowning. it's just not a very, I don't know. Like, it's like, obviously that's a good motive, but it's just not a very like, you could have done something a little better. It's just not very creative in my opinion. But that's just me. Lollipop Sanchez is saying my mom says that I'm the devil's child just because I was born on October 31st. That's fucking awesome. A Halloween birthday and you're a horror fan. I used to know someone who was born on Halloween and like hated horror movies. And I'm just like, that's gotta suck. that's gotta be a really unfortunate thing right there. So good on you, Lollipop Sanchez. That's fantastic. I'm envious. That'd be an awesome time to have a birthday. Holy shit. Jill is the best female killer. Ooh. Oh man, if I ever do a top 10 like female slashers, Jill Roberts is absolutely on that list. Is she number one? Maybe. I mean, honestly, maybe. Alice from Alice Sweet Alice is on that list too, for sure. I don't know if I put Jill might go above her though. Ooh, hard for me to disagree with that, ZZM. That's really good. Really good answer right there. All right, let's get to my boy Patrick Bateman. This is an easy. I mean, come on, listen. Patrick Bateman's going way up there. Way up there. I think I'm putting him right there behind Hannibal Lecter. Patrick Bateman, S tier, fucking awesome character. So fucking funny. Like, American Psycho makes me crack up laughing every time I watch it. Like, there are some movies that are just right to my funny bone. That is one of them. So ridiculous, so over the top. And that movie has so much to say utilizing this character in such a genius way. That could have just been a movie about, exploiting what it's like to be, have a lot of money in New York City, be on Wall Street and make that person a killer. That's all that movie needed to be. But then it goes into this realm of like social commentary. It's so fucking smart. It's so witty and intelligent. I don't know. I love that movie so much. It's one of my favorite horror films. Patrick Bateman, way up there, in my opinion, for sure. The other thing that's cool is like in the past 20 years or so, he's really become this bigger horror icon. Like, I think many people would recognize someone, the guy in the suit with the axe covered in blood. That's recognizable. I think nowadays that is. I remember a bunch of people were going as him for like Halloween a couple years ago too. And I'm like, wow, okay. I always thought that movie was a little more obscure, but I guess not. And I think that's great. It deserves it. It deserves that status. It's a killer horror flick. Definitely a one of a kind too. I don't see too many other movies successfully doing what Patrick Bateman does. So an easy S tier without a doubt, for sure. Great movie. All right, talking about some more great fucking horror icons, Pennywise. And specifically talking about Bill Skarsgård, Pennywise, another S tier. Oh man. Yeah, for sure. Where do I put Pennywise though? Ooh. This is really tough. Bill Skarsgård gives an incredible performance as him. I think I'm going to put him above Chop Top, but behind Jason. And my reasoning for that is really like, it's tough, man. Pennywise, like his introduction to the world in the remakes, of course, is ripping off a kid's arm and eating him. Is there anything really scarier than that? I don't know. That fucking, I don't know, remake Pennywise is awesome. I think I like him more than Tim Curry, but like Tim Curry Pennywise is just really silly, which I love. Like he made it's another thing like Freddy Krueger, where it's like the thing that I'm watching isn't fantastic, but Tim Curry is giving it his fucking all. That's why I love it. So Bill Skarsgård's going in S tier. Tim Curry's going, I think, in A tier. I love him. He's great, but man, that miniseries is just not fantastic. He's easily the best part of it, though. I'm gonna put him there, middle of A tier. Yeah, middle of A tier. Once again, I love him, great character, but he's just he's not as scary to me. Like, I know I've heard a lot of people say like, oh my God, Tim Curry, Pennywise scared the fuck out of me as a kid. And I don't know. I mean, the design is awesome. It's really scary, but I don't know. It just not as scary as the remake to me. And I also feel like the miniseries it's a little too long. I don't know. There's things about it I'm not crazy about either, but Tim Curry, so good. I mean, one of the best creature actors of all time, without a doubt. So he's definitely at least an A tier, you know? So love him. Okay, moving forward. That's how I feel about the Pennywises. Love those. I love really every It thing though, but man, that miniseries has some weak spots, you know? It's just not as really like the Andy Muschietti movies, just a little better. Red from Us. Great killer again. Where do I put her though? This is tough. Red from Us is one where I'm like, I love this character. A lot of great stuff going on here, but comparatively to some of these other villains, I think I'm going to give her like I like her better than New Nightmare, better than Rob Zombie. I'm going to put her like in the middle of B. Red is a really interesting slasher, but doesn't get too many great kills though. That's the one thing that I'm like, not a whole lot of iconic kills. I mean, that scene, you know, where she's talking to the family, that's iconic. That's one of my favorite sequences from Jordan Peele, like just out of any of his movies, when they're in that fucking room and she's given that whole spiel, and it's just insane. It's like the most hectic situation. How things went from like 0 to 100 is awesome in that movie. But Red is a middle of the road B tier slasher, I think. Like, once again, doesn't get a whole lot of crazy kills, but just the performance from Lupita Nyong'o is amazing in that movie to me. Man, a lot of people hating on Red. C tier, D tier, another D. Really? Wow. People hate Us. I don't know why. Like, everyone loved that movie when it came out, but now everyone's like, oh, it's the worst. God, I don't know, man. Jordan Peele, amazing. Love his movies. I also think, like, out of all three of Jordan Peele's movies, Us is the easiest to consume. Like, it's definitely the most, like, consumer-friendly movie out of his entire catalog. So I give it props for that. It's got a really heavy message, but it's not like in your face, which is nice. It's like you can watch that movie and just enjoy it as a popcorn flick. You know, mindlessly watch it, put it on in the background, and enjoy some tense moments. But then if you watch it by yourself on a deeper level, you can find some really interesting aspects to it. That it's like, oh wow, this has a lot to say about class. This is really interesting. So I don't know. I love it. I think I agree with Carrie. Like, it's definitely it's number 3 ranking Jordan Peele's movies. It's your fave out of the 3. Oh shit. I read that wrong. It's tough. Like, Us was my favorite, I think, after I saw it for the first time, but I will say, I think comparatively to Get Out and Nope, I think it's my number 3, but fuck, it's a great movie. It's awesome. I don't know. There's been I've seen a lot of hate for this movie over the course of the past couple of years. It makes me a little sad. I'm like, man, that blew me away. Holy shit. That was awesome the first time I saw it. Anything Jordan Peele makes, I'm there day one, dude. It's awesome. Great stuff. Art the Clown is your favorite clown? Yeah. Oh, Art the Clown is definitely my favorite clown-themed killer. Without a doubt. Without a doubt. Pennywise is great too, but like Pennywise is more... The coolest thing about Pennywise to me is like the shape-shifting elements. Like, he can kind of be whatever. He's your greatest fear, you know? So it's kind of less of like he's less of a clown to me, and it's more about the fact that he's a shape-shifting alien. That's fucking sweet. You know? But still, I mean, yeah, still a lot of great clown-themed killers out there. You know, Captain Spaulding's on the list as well. I don't know if Wrinkles counts. That's like a real life weird thing. Stitches is great. Clown from the movie Clown, also a good one. But Art the Clown, number 1. Come on, man. Come on, man. So good. All right. We have Ricky. Old Ricky. Ricky Caldwell. The Garbage Day fella, as most of you probably know him. This is a weird one. It's an obscure one, but I'm like, okay, people might know this because of the memes, so that's why I'm keeping it on there. Ricky goes in C tier for me, like the bottom of C tier. Like, I think that moment is so funny and he's so campy and over the top, but like, I don't know. Does he really match up to some of these other killers? I don't know, man. Bottom of C tier for me with Ricky, but it's Garbage Day. Bam. It's ridiculous. I love it. Best part of that whole movie. Oh my God. Love it. All right, let's get to Roy Burns. Roy Burns, baby. The Corey Cunningham before Corey Cunningham was cool. I don't know, man. I mean, not Nightmare. Friday 5 is just, it's fine. It's a fine movie. I don't know. The kills are really good in the film, but the twist is horrible. Like, I don't know. Anytime that the Friday movies try to do a twist, it just does not work for me. I'm going to put Roy at the bottom. You know what? Actually, I'm going to put him at a high F tier. Above Buddy, because he's definitely a little better than Buddy, but like, come on, man. I don't know. F tier for Roy. Sorry, Roy. I apologize, my friend. No Cupid killer from Valentine. Yeah, I'm actually kind of sad that he's not on here, Shane. I would love to have Cupid on the list. Cupid would be pretty high up. I mean, the kills in that movie aren't like, spectacular or anything, but the twist is phenomenal. Did not see that coming. I was like, no fucking way. That was great. And the way they reveal it too is so subtle. Oh my God, it's great. I won't say it. If you haven't seen Valentine, check it out. It's one of the best like Scream inspired slashers out there, I think. That and Urban Legend are my two favorites. So good. Okay, let's get back to it. Girl from the Ring, specifically the original, I give this one mad props. Like if we're talking about the character from the remake, I'm not as crazy about the remake version of this character as I am the original. I think her backstory is a little more interesting. They were like doing like testing on her. Kind of think like Eleven in Stranger Things. Like they were doing all this like testing on her, and she actually accidentally gained these crazy powers. That's why she's able to like live through a curse of a videotape and all this shit. I think that's fucking awesome. So I'm putting I believe her name is it Kayako or Sadako? I don't know. Let's say Samara. For sake of me not being able to remember. I'm putting her up in fucking A tier, dude. Like, great killer. Once again, nothing like, doesn't really score any crazy kills in those movies or anything, but just so iconic. The girl with the long black hair coming out of a TV, everyone knows what that's from. I'm gonna put her right here. High A tier for me personally. But anyways, let's see this real quick. Carrie saying Valentine is one of my fave slashers. Yes, I am putting it up there because the ending was just perfect to me, and those kills were superb. Yeah. Oh, I mean, the twist is great. The twist is fantastic. That movie's a lot of fun too. Characters are great too in that movie. So I gotta watch that again, man. It's been a minute. I've only seen that one once. Valentine's fantastic. Cupid would be, if I had to put that killer up here somewhere, I think like maybe middle of A, yeah. Like maybe before Tim Curry Pennywise. Another underdog, another one that's underrated where I'm like, this one's underrated. This one should be up there high enough. And then let's get to my boy Sam. I love him. He's cute. He just wants candy and he'll kill you if you don't give it to him. Sam's going way up there. Sam is going bottom of S tier for me personally. Love Sam. Love him to death. We need another movie with him, I think, before he really starts to move up. But with one movie, the character becomes a horror icon. That's impressive. Absolutely love Sam. Oh, man. But yeah, Sam is iconic. I love that. The character also has two looks too, the bag over his head and then like, it comes off later on and he's got this scary face underneath. You're like, ooh, shit. Love him. He's cute. He did nothing wrong. He's a good boy. Billy Loomis might not be a good boy, but but Sam is. I love him. Sarah throwing $5 out there. Thank you so much. My brother in Christ. The entire time I thought that tiny photo of Samara from The Ring was the furry hood of the Urban Legend killer. Oh shit. It kind of does look like that though, doesn't it? I'm so sorry. I wish the Urban Legend killer was on here, actually, because Rebecca Gayheart gets some mad props from me. I think that twist is so good. Oh my God. That would go up there pretty high too. A good twist can really result in something special. I would put that pretty high up. If the Valentine killer or or the Urban Legend killer was on this, they would be A tier. They would both be A tier, I think, for sure. But I'm so sorry, Sarah, to disappoint. I promise you we'll talk about this movie tomorrow. I'll tell you that much. I'm excited, though. It's going to be fun. Sam, though, an easy S tier for sure. Sarah, thank you so much for the 5, though. I do really appreciate it. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry about that. Dylan is saying, where would you rank Victor Crowley and Harry Warden? So I put Harry Warden, like the original one specifically, in B tier. I think the design is fucking awesome, and some of the kills in that original movie are great, too. I just, I don't know. I'm not as, it's not a bad movie. Like, I'm not trying to say it's a bad movie. It's just, I think like some of the other movies and characters on this list, I just put above it personally. So I put like original Harry Warden at B tier. I put remake version of that at D tier because I don't know, like remake version is right here. that remake, man, what's so great about that original is like the kills are fucking phenomenal and so like so bloody and gory and crazy. But then you get to the remake and they're all CGI kills. Like that one with the shovel especially is so fucking bad. Like conceptually a great kill, but like goes through the person's head and then like the top of the head slides around on the shovel at the beginning of the remake, and it just looks awful. It's so digital, it's so nasty. I've seen a lot of people say recently, they're like, oh, CGI has gotten so much worse in movies nowadays, and I'm like, you should watch some of the Final Destination sequels or, you know, My Bloody Valentine 2009, because I don't know, I think your opinion will change when you watch those versus, you know, something like Barbie or Oppenheimer today, you know. But that's just me, just my opinion. Some of the Marvel movies are pretty bad, but that's because they're rushed. Anyways, Pinhead. You guys know how much I love Pinhead. Love me some Pinhead. He's going up there. Another iconic villain. I mean, an easy S tier. I think I'm going to put him just below Jason. Will it let me do that though? No. I put Hellraiser, Pinhead specifically, in S tier, but behind Jason. Little lower on the S tier spectrum, just makes it on there. But Pinhead's iconic, man. Doug Bradley, it's his best role. It's an iconic villain. If you don't know what a Cenobite is, you at least know what Pinhead is. You know what I mean? It's one of those things that even like horror fans can recognize this outside of something like that. I think like most of the characters in the S tier right now are super recognizable, and you'd be able to like be like, oh yeah, okay, yeah. You know, speaking of that, I'm actually gonna put Sam above Chop Top. I think Sam has a little more influence than Chop Top does. I'm just putting him up there because I think he's so underrated. But yeah, without a doubt, Pinhead's in S tier. I also love the concept of the Cenobites. They're not, you know, they're demons, but they're a little different, spun in ways that you haven't quite seen before, and I love that. Where would you put the trio from The Strangers? Oh, S tier, without a doubt. They're like once again very simple but effective killers. Like the same reason I love Ghostface is the same reasons I love The Strangers. They're just people with masks on who are just killing for fun, and that's scary. That's horrifying. It's crazy to me that that Ghostface or the Scream movies have never done that as the as the motive. It's kind of nuts, honestly. I don't know. I really don't. I don't know. I don't know why we haven't seen a Ghostface killer who's just doing it to do it. Maybe they're just a big fan of horror movies. They're like, we just want to kill, you know? I don't know. I couldn't tell you why. I think The Strangers has the best motive for a killer of that style out of any movie. Like, it's so fucking scary and it's so simple. It's like, I've seen some people say it's a cop-out to not have a motive. And it's like, but it's not to not have a motive. It's to leave more to the imagination of the audience. And I think that's so special. Yeah, Carrie says it perfectly. Why are you doing this? Because you were home. That line gives me chills. Same. Same. Gives me chills. The Strangers are great. An easy S tier villain. But we haven't seen too much of them. So I think that's why I would still put Ghostface above them. But I think their motive is easily better than any Ghostface motive personally. But that's just me. Just my opinion. Leprechaun. A silly little fuck. A silly little fuck running around amok. I'm putting him in C tier. Gonna be honest. Leprechaun, I don't know. Those movies are kind of hard to watch to a degree. Some of them are really funny and over the top and great. Like I think the first one and the first one, the fourth one, the In the Hood ones are fucking insane. But like, I don't know. I don't hate Leprechaun, but I'm not like, oh my God, it's my favorite, so bad it's good franchise either. A low C tier for Leprechaun, personally. He's a little shit, as James likes to say, but yeah, he's an interesting little guy. Tell you what. Those movies are crazy. Guilty pleasure, I agree. Guilty pleasure movies for sure. Where I'm like, I don't know if I like this, but I'm having fun. I'm having fun with it regardless. Love that little guy. Agree with the C though. Yeah. I feel you. There's so many good characters on the list so far. You know, it's like, how can I do that? Okay, the Tall Man from Phantasm. Love him. Super iconic villain. Another underdog on this list. Great concept for a killer too. He like pulls people out of fucking. He pulls shit from different dimensions to use to kill people. He turns his victims into these little tiny like Jawa looking things. It's crazy. I put the Tall Man probably in A tier above Norman Bates. I'm gonna put him above Norman Bates, not above Esther. Yeah. I'm gonna put him above Esther. Actually, I'm feeling kind of cocky. Fuck it. Yeah, I'm putting that there. Okay. Tall Man's underrated. If you guys have not seen the Phantasm movies, watch them. You want to talk about some bad shit insanity? Oh my god, so good. Tall Man, great. Really fun movies that rarely get talked about. Kind of the prog rock of horror. I think I've heard it best described. All right, Tiffany Valentine, iconic. The best, maybe not the best, but one of the best bride of characters. I'm putting Tiffany in low S tier, which is maybe a hot take. But I think that Bride of Chucky is one of those movies where that needed to be a really good reinvention of the franchise, and it is. It's excellent. And because of Jennifer Tilly, who does this so well. Low S tier, like barely an S tier, in my opinion, but just ever so slightly an S tier. But yeah, but absolutely up there for sure. Tiffany Valentine is one of those where it's like, this wasn't necessary, but I'm glad it happened. Like, such a great killer doll and a great addition to that universe. Really adds a whole lot to Chucky's character too, on top of building this own unique antagonist. I love it. It's great. I'm glad that she's been a part of the franchise moving forward too, in all the other movies, which is great. I love Tiffany more than Chucky, actually. Ooh, hot take. I love it. I give her a B only because she needs more kills under her belt. Fair. To get to S for me. Okay. No, that's fair. Here's what I'll say about Tiffany, though, Carrie. One of my favorite things about the Chucky TV show, I'm not crazy about it, but one of my favorite things about it is Jennifer Tilly. I think she shines big time in that show. And I really liked her relationship with Nika. I thought that was I was like, wow, okay, this is fun. I don't like how it ended up, personally. I'm like, what? Felt like a cop-out ending. I was like, okay, they just kind of gave up on the writing there, I guess. But they started off really well. But I don't know, Jennifer Tilly, she shines so big. I feel like we wouldn't have more Chucky movies if it wasn't for her outstanding performance in Bride of Chucky. So yeah, I'm putting her up in S tier for that reason. It's really tough to put her above Leatherface. You know, it's like, really, dude? But like, think about how many like poor portrayals of Leatherface there are versus how many great Jennifer Tilly performances we've had as Tiffany. It's a tough choice. It really is. It almost like makes me mad. But yeah, it's just that's just how it is, unfortunately. Makes me sad. All right, getting to our last person on this list, Victor Crowley. Villain killing Dylan, I know you're out there. Victor Crowley, I'm going to be honest, I've just always seen Victor Crowley as a Jason knockoff. And I don't hate it. Like, I don't hate those movies, but I'm not like losing my mind over him either. This is a high C tier. I'm going to put Victor Crowley all the way at the top of C tier, personally. I don't know. A lot of people really like these movies, and I'm just not losing my mind over them. I wish I was. I wish I liked them more, but they're just not my favorites. They're not bad, though. They got some great kills, like, without a doubt. But it's just not a whole lot new. It's just Friday the 13th in New Orleans, you know? So I don't know. Not bad. Yeah, C for Crowley. There you go, Sarah. I like that. C for Crowley. Very good stuff. All right, I'm going to let you, like, what do y'all think about this list? I'm curious. Curious what you guys think of it. Curious what you guys think. Now, I promised something at the end of this. I want to get some opinions with y'all, of course. What do you think is the most hot take here? Is there anything you guys would change? Want to talk to y'all about that. But if y'all want to stick around for a little bit, some of you, one of you specifically, will get the digital download code for Evil Dead Rise. I'm going to read it out in just a couple minutes here. But at first, I want to talk to you guys about the list, how you guys feel about it. Is there anything you would want to change? I'm curious. Grim is saying good list, but was the collector missed, or am I crazy? So here's the thing. I think that this character right here is the collector, but I can't tell. Like, I genuinely can't tell from this picture. There's something about the eyes that look wrong. But if I had to put the collector somewhere, I'm going to put him in A tier, like, for sure. The collector's a great villain. I would probably let's say this is the collector. I'm going to put him right there behind remake Leatherface. I think that's where I would put him. So fuck it. We're going to say that's the collector. Great movies, though. Oh, 1 and 2 are so good. I would have put Jason higher and Pearl on the list, but really solid. You know what? It's arguable with Jason. Jason is like, oh, come on. He's like one of the most iconic horror villains of all time. I get it, Chris. I do. I wish if Pearl was on the list, an easy S tier, without a doubt, for sure. I wish she was on there. Would have put Michael Myers at number 1. Yeah, Michael should have. I wish Michael was higher, but man, Art the Clown is great. Do you have Art before Michael Myers and Ghostface? Yes. Like, yeah. I'm sorry. I love Art the Clown so much. He's my favorite slasher villain. I wish I could write something that good. It's my favorite. It's my favorite. He's having a blast chopping people up. That's hilarious. You think the hottest take is Art? Okay, on the top spot. I appreciate your passion, but I can't put him above a few of the OGs. I don't know, man. Comparatively to some of the, I just think about like Terrifier 2 blows some of these other movies out of, like some of these other sequels out of the water, you know? Like, look at like Halloween 5, look at Scream 3, look at most of the Nightmare sequels, some of the later Chucky sequels. I think Terrifier 1 and 2 are better than most of those, personally. Like, I don't know. I think his track record so far is so immaculate. It's kind of hard for me to not put him up there. I don't know. It's say what you want about Terrifier 1, it doesn't really have a plot, but the kills are great and I'm invested in the characters, whether they have some stupid arcs or not. I mean, they kill the final girl off halfway through the movie, which is like, what? Like, what was that decision? But besides that, I'm actually pretty invested in some of those characters. So after getting through some of those Nightmare movies, man, like those are tough. Those are tough to get through. I'll tell you what. I don't know. I just I watched the first Terrifier again, and I'm like, this is really enjoyable. I'm never bored with the characters. Sometimes, you know, there's some like a weird something here or there or whatever, but it's not like Nightmare 4 and 5. I couldn't even remember some of the characters' names. I'm just so bored. So I don't know. I think Terrifier is in the same vein as those movies, but just done way better. Same with Terrifier 2. So I don't know. I mean, is Terrifier 1 and 2 better than the original Halloween, the original Scream? No, like not. I don't think so. But still good. I love them. They're some of my favorite slashes of all time. Hot take, I know, but the Terrifier movies are great. And I also like after meeting Damien Leone too, like the fact that he's so down to earth and so fucking cool, and I don't know. It's like that's another big thing with me too. You liking art that makes complete sense. I don't agree, but that's your style. That's why these types of streams are so fun. It's fun to see different perspectives too, ZZM. You know, like I'm not as like losing my mind over like when something is so pushing I love when shit pushes boundaries, and Terrifier 2 pushes the boundaries. It's offensive to some people. It's too much. And I love that. I love when movies are able to do that, and not a lot of movies do that nowadays. I see a lot of movies that are so safe and not just trying to fit into a box of a certain category. But Terrifier 2 said, fuck all of that. We're going to make this insane over the top slasher film that doesn't really care who it offends. And I think that's very ballsy. Love that shit. All right. Hot takes. Love them, hate them. I would love to see your guys' rankings as well. But let's read this digital download code. So if someone wants Evil Dead Rise, get a pen ready, get something ready, get to your computer, your phone, whatever the fuck. Here we go. Evil Dead Rise digital code coming at you. The code is 7805 JX0C JG9N XTY8. And I'm going to put it in the chat there too, for those who are like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm going to do a real quick test. Hi. Will that come through? Okay, it does. I don't usually type things in the chat here, so I'm just going to type that in there in case someone missed it. 05. I think someone probably already got it, but yeah. JX0CJ. Everyone's just like, wow, we're really just watching this guy fucking type on his keyboard, huh? Yep, you fucking are. I'm curious, when someone gets it though, please put it in the chat that you got it so that not everyone else is just still typing it in. So whoever gets it, congratulations. You just got Evil Dead Rise for free, my friends. So enjoy. I hope, I know not everyone's able to get these movies, so I thought it would be fun if I was like, yeah, you know what, I'm going to start doing this at the end of every stream. I'm just going to give out digital codes. I don't use them. Like, I'm a big physical media guy. So I'm not really crazy about these digital codes, but I want you guys to have them. So there you go. Jake, am I mashing buttons? No, that's the digital code for Evil Dead Rise. If you type that into the internet or whatever the fuck, you will get a digital download of Evil Dead Rise to watch. So you don't have to pay for a streaming service to check it out. That's another reason I'm doing it too, because, I got some opinions on that shit. So go ahead. There you go. There's a little digital download code for you. So whoever gets it, there you go. It's yours. Enjoy Evil Dead Rise. Killer fucking movie. Thank you all so much for hanging out. love all you guys so much. Always love hanging out with you guys. Thank you for the support tonight and enjoying the little ranking stream. I thought this would be fun, a fun, different thing to do. We're going live on Friday. I want to announce that as well. We're doing another bracket stream. I know those are always super fun. Do those once a month. We're doing 90s horror. So obviously Scream is going to be on the list. A lot of you want to see that one win. We got a lot of other fun horror movies on there too. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Going to be a very good bracket. Make sure to check that out on Friday. Join us then. It's going to be a good time. Can you do more rankings like this? Absolutely. I'm planning on doing more. I wanted to start off with, something familiar like slasher villains, but we'll get into the weeds of some weirder shit later on. So absolutely, my friends. So whoever got Evil Dead Rise, enjoy, and thank you as always for hanging out with me tonight. Don't forget to kill it out there, y'all, and peace out. I'll see ya.